What's going on, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of Welcome to the Warzone. I am Joe Morley. Mike on the mic might join us tonight. He might not. He's off if he doesn't come in. He might come in. Love to see him. But you guys see who's already here. Alex, the man, Robson, right? Alex, we're going to do things different. Normally what we do is you've been on Welcome to the Warzone before. We bring on a guest. We kind of do like an interview style. Tonight we're doing round table edition.
Let's do it. I'm excited. I'm excited to have some extra guys here on Welcome to the Warzone. It's going to be one hell of a time. Let's jump right into this, Joe Morley. You and me for now, but let's get some more people in here. Screw Mike on the mic. If he joins, he joins. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But you and I can rock it together just fine, I believe. Let's go ahead.
Anybody who
evoke the name of the devil and he shall appear.
So, yeah, if you guys are in here, we will talk about anything you guys want to. So please share the link, get the link out there. Any topic, no topic is off. So you guys want to bring it up. You guys want to talk fantasy football, baseball, Jets, whatever you guys want to talk about, we're going to talk about. But first, let me hit that intro. Yeah, that's right. I love it. You can't hear that intro without dancing, right?
You really can't. It's hard not to. Like it's a fat beat. I will tell you that.
Oh, it's a fat beat?
Fat beat. That's a
we're already starting off with fat jokes.
I didn't go there, Joe Morley. I mean, either way, we're both on that same platform, my brother. I'm not saying anything like that.
Either way, guys, like we said, this is a free-flowing conversation. Hopefully more people will join in tonight. But we're going to talk about anything and everything in the sports world. We're just having a conversation. If you guys want to join in, you guys want to throw anything in there, a topic into the chat, let us know. We'll bring up that topic. We'll talk about it. It's just like your friends sitting on a couch talking, having a great time. We just got done with the mock draft just a minute ago. We had fun doing that. There was some interesting picks in that. We can get into that. But first, Alex, we might turn some people away right now. We might turn some people away. The millions of people watching. The millions and millions of people watching right now want to know what you think about the return of the John Cena last night.
It was awesome. I didn't get to watch it live, sadly. I don't have Peacock and all that kind of stuff. I kind of think that was kind of stupid of them to move off the WWE Network. I always enjoyed that. Probably because it costs a little bit less money, I believe. I'm not sure if Peacock costs anything or not, but it was awesome to hear about and awesome to see. It was the first time that they've had a pay-per-view with live audience in over, I think, almost 500 days. We have had live audiences for a WWE event, and man, did they come out in full force. When that music hit and John Cena showed up on the Titantron and his animated self with the tribal chief Roman Reigns in the center of the ring, that place was rocking, man. It was awesome to hear a pop like that. That is arguably one of the loudest pops I've ever heard in my entire time watching wrestling. I think it's up there with some of the pops that we got in the Attitude Era with Stone Cold Steve Austin, of course, when he came out and helped Mankind win the WWF Championship. It was absolutely insane. It is good to have the man John Cena back. And I did not know how awesome it would be to have Pat McAfee on a damn commentary team in WWE because, good God, this guy is hilarious. I love Pat McAfee in the WWE. It works so well with him and Michael Cole. Awesome to have Big Match John back in the WWE where he belongs.
There he is right here. John Cena. It's just a green screen. I get it. It's one of those jokes.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
A little bit.
Yeah, he looked good.
Yeah.
I like you said, I didn't watch it live either, but nothing was hitting my my stream, like my whole playlist today, but John Cena returns. And like you said, I turned it on, heard the crowd go wild for him. Even he was saying, like, even when I go back and watch it, he was like, normally you guys are saying John Cena sucks. Now you guys, there's a guy who had a sign that says, when John Cena comes out, we will cheer him.
Yep.
But then again,
I do find it funny that his T-shirt matches the color scheme of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, of which he returned, adding more Fruity Pebbles to the bowl that he has with those colorful T-shirts.
And also, kind of a callback, him returning at Money in the Bank, famous for that CM Punk feud, finishing kind of at Money in the Bank, or coming to a climax at Money in the Bank a couple years ago. In my opinion, that was the best Money in the Bank of all time when Punk won the title and walked out.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Undoubtedly, because that was just such a crazy moment.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I was very young. Mike, you're a little older than me, but we were kind of kids at that time watching that. We really thought CM Punk was going to walk the hell out of the company with the WWE Championship. We were just like, what is this bogus? But in the end, I was a big CM Punk fan up until he left WWE. I was happy for Punk, but that reaction that Cena got returning this past Sunday, it's up there with how loud that place was in Chicago when CM Punk walked out of there through the crowd as WWE Champion throughout the home crown faithful.
Cortland, what's going on? I'm glad you came back. You said that Cortland came on at the end of the mock draft, and he was like, "Oh, I'm glad you guys are having another show so I can catch it. I'm glad you came back." He's saying something about him being rather than a return of a legend rather than the face of the business. Okay, you guys are younger than me. Do you consider in your era John Cena the face of WWE?
Yes,
absolutely. He's been the face. He's been the face of this company ever since I was watching. I mean, he carried the business through the Ruthless Aggression era. He was the face of that era. Through the PG era, there was no one more over than John Cena. He is the franchise, like 16-time world champion. Every time you look into the crowd, there is some kid out there with the wristbands and the John Cena T-shirt. John Cena is still the face of the company. Now, I will agree.
Cena sucks. John Cena sucks.
No one can be that hated and that loved in the same sentence other than John Cena. You got guys like The Rock, of course, but John Cena is unique. I know he has the 4 moves of doom or whatever the heck you want to call them, but we still love John Cena. I remember as a kid, I adored John Cena because he was always kind of the knight in shining armor to the evildoers at WWE. Guys like Edge when he had his rivalry with him. Guys like Batista when he turned heel. Guys like Brock Lesnar even when he came back for the first time in 2012 or something like that after he lost to The Rock at Mania. John Cena was always the face of the place, the face that runs the place. That's what always was John Cena. I'm so glad he's back. It is absolutely awesome to have the man John Cena back.
All of my favorite feuds that I can call back to and remember growing up involve Cena. To me, especially because he's going to win the title one more time. I think that's where this storyline is going, him winning the title and then probably losing it immediately to Roman again and breaking that record. But to me, you didn't even bring up the Randy Orton feud either. That's an all-time feud right there.
Oh, that's probably the all-time. In my opinion, now John Cena, like you said, has a ton of great rivals.
Yeah.
Orton's number one because that was through Ruthless Aggression era. That was through the PG era.
Yep.
Those are 2 guys that, in my opinion, are born to fight forever.
Yeah.
We had those guys throughout every era, really. We had those guys. We had The Rock and Stone Cold. Those guys carried to the Attitude Era. They were born to fight forever. You got guys like Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, born to fight forever. I mean, those are just guys that just naturally just feasted. And, of course, like I said, good versus evil. John Cena was the ultimate good guy. And that was really Orton at his best when he was just the
ultimate bad guy. Yeah.
The bad bald Randy Orton scared the hell out of me when I was a kid because he would just do anything.
Yeah. When he transitioned from like that legend killer to almost like an assassin character more than specifically targeting legends with the punt and all that stuff that he brought out. But yeah, to me, after he wins this title, John Cena is my GOAT.
All right, give me
I still got him at second.
Felke said I've never seen this show before. Felke, this is Welcome to the Warzone with a twist. This is the roundtable version of Welcome to the Warzone, something we want to try out, where we just have a bunch of guys come on here and have a good time talking. Cortland came in and he says, John Cena, it was his favorite wrestler outside of Bret Hart and Ric Flair. I love The Rock, but when they returned, there were rating boosters. I think that's what Cena is going to be, but then again, he will be gone. So, yeah, like you touched on, Mike, he's going to come in, do his thing, and then be gone. Cena is only good at rapping.
The Dr. Thugonomics.
Hey, if you're going to do the woo, you got to do Ric Flair.
Yeah, Ric Flair.
Yeah,
the,
that's
yeah.
what I'm confused. That was-
the best there ever was. It was the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
I think that was like
Right.
a
The Hitman part.
whoa. I think that's more supposed to be a whoa than a woo. He's missing an A in there.
Yeah. Well, in
Either
my
way.
opinion, honestly, the greatest of all time for me is The Undertaker. Always will be, because he's just the cornerstone of every era that you watch in WWE, from the golden era all the way to really even this era. He had his impact there. But John Cena is definitely second place for me. And you mentioned him kind of coming back, being a ratings boost, and then going away. That's okay. Because how better way to put Roman Reigns over as the true bad guy, the best heel in the business, in my opinion, right now, is the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, than to have him beat John Cena, the 16-time world champion, especially if he does it clean with no help from the Usos. That'd be awesome storytelling, in my opinion, as well. So I'm happy either way with how this John Cena Roman Reigns storyline goes.
Yeah, and I don't know if Jordan is ready to come in or not. He's a big wrestling fan. He would be a great at talking about this. Look, I love The Undertaker. What they did to him when they had Brock Lesnar beat him and beat that streak, that was horrible. Then they had him retire, not retire, looked like he was retiring. That's when I kind of like started to get away from wrestling for a little bit, because I was like, it's too much. And then they kept pushing all these outsiders. I don't like that. But John Cena is not an outsider.
Born and bred in the business, man. That is John Cena. And like you said about the Undertaker, I know we're drifting off Cena, but Undertaker, him losing the streak never should have happened. I'm always a believer in that. I still don't know if that was supposed to happen or not, because we talk about that match. Undertaker has gone on, I guess now technically Mark Calloway, because he doesn't really even go by the Undertaker anymore, because he's long retired and kind of retired the character itself as well. But even then, he has talked about it. He doesn't remember anything from that night. He does not remember anything because he got concussed so early in it. So maybe that wasn't supposed to be the finish, but I've heard also things from other people saying that was. Either way, it shouldn't have happened, in my opinion. That streak never should have been broken. I really think if that streak was ever to be broken, it should have been to either Kane, his storyline brother, or a guy like Randy Orton, who had that legend killer vibe to him. So I think those are probably the two main guys I'd give that to.
There you go. Cortland, he's saying it. They pulled a Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart.
Paul Heyman stirs the pot too. Have you seen that? Whenever they ask him about it, he tells like this wild, like suspenseful story about how Brock Lesnar just did whatever the hell he wanted that night. But at the end, he goes, "Or it could have went the way they told you," and he leaves the
pretty much
suspense.
Paul Heyman, the master of twisting
not
words.
working, but we'll bring him in and ask him. Jordan, what do you think? Do you think the Undertaker Brock Lesnar was planned, or you think Lesnar did what he wanted?
Can you all hear me all right and everything?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Sorry I can't have my camera on. I'm actually there's not many places I can record. But to me, I feel like Undertaker's losing streak at WrestleMania was planned, but it should have never happened in the first place. The only few people, in my opinion, who was capable of possibly ending the Undertaker's streak. One of you all mentioned Randy Orton, the Legend Killer. I thought that would make some sense. Honestly, I think Cena at a certain point made sense, because you're the top heel and the top face. And to me, if you're going to have a guy, why not Bray Wyatt? Bray Wyatt was supposed to be this next Undertaker. It makes so much sense. You can basically end his streak and build him up for years now. You can have Bray Wyatt be the next Undertaker and say, oh, he's the guy who ended the Undertaker's streak. And like that, he has that on his resume. How people talk about how Chris Jericho beat The Rock and Steve Austin on the same night.
Exactly.
It was 20-some years ago, and it's still talked about. I feel like if that was Bray Wyatt, we would be talking about that forever, and that he has a legitimate case to make himself as the next Undertaker if that were to happen.
Exactly. Bray Wyatt was another character they killed off way too soon. But
I had a similar opinion with Roman Reigns ending the streak originally before Brock Lesnar did, as I wanted to see. Actually, I think I wanted to see it that year. If I remember right, it was right at the end of my high school, so I'm not sure if it was that year or the year before or the year after. But I was like, for the exact same reason he just said, I wanted Roman Reigns to do it.
Well, you mentioned Bray Wyatt, and I'm a huge fan of Bray Wyatt. I think he's one of the better characters of this generation ever. But I feel like there's two different Bray Wyatts. I feel like, and we have the Bray Wyatt then, the leader of the Wyatt family, this weird swamp character guy that just comes out with a lantern. And then you got the Fiend, which I thought was absolutely horrifying when he first debuted. And I was still, I think I was in college when that guy first debuted as The Fiend. And I was just like, holy cow, this guy's freaking terror. I'm going to have nightmares about this dude. I feel like if we had that Fiend versus a younger Undertaker and more not as aged Undertaker, a guy whose knees were giving out and all this kind of stuff that was happening to him as he got older, I feel like we had that character, The Fiend, versus the Undertaker. That would have been the perfect opportunity for the streak to be broken, because if take that Fiend character that I believe has been buried in the dirt beyond able to be buried back up, I feel like that would have been awesome to have that character break the streak.
And it's like, the Swamp Wyatt, in my opinion, I wasn't really much of a fan of, but the Fiend, to me, that's a very intriguing character. He's kind of like Mick Foley in the fact, he has two personas in a way, and the Fiend, like, he can really, like, I think that's a much more interesting character, and I agree with you. I think that would have been a better character, better off maybe ending the Undertaker streak.
Yeah. And that's not taking away from the original Bray Wyatt, because that Bray Wyatt was awesome too. I enjoyed that character, but I just feel like when we're talking about more credibility-wise, I feel like it takes something truly supernatural, if we're talking about the storyline-wise, to defeat The Undertaker or an amazing superstar like a Randy Orton. Another guy I thought could break it was Shawn Michaels, because, of course, that history there. Maybe a Triple H, because the game. I mean, he's one of the better competitors ever, and, of course, he also has a long history with The Undertaker as well. But we got that Fiend character, that kind of demonic creature that comes out versus kind of a swamp guy and Bray Wyatt. Again, not knocking that character. That character was really, really good. I feel like I would lean more towards seeing the Fiend break the streak of The Undertaker more than the Swamp Man Bray Wyatt type deal. But no problem either way for me.
And just for everybody who's tuning in right now, we're talking about WWE, the return of John Cena, but we will talk about anything else that you guys want to talk about. So please light up the comment section. Let us give us a topic of what you want to talk about. Also, if we're on right now, we're on, where are we at? We're on Twitter, we're on YouTube, and we're on Facebook. So make sure you guys like and subscribe and follow us, because it's not the only show we do. This is a Welcome to the Warzone Roundtable Edition, where we're just going to hit on some of the hottest topics right now in sports. And last night, the return of You Can't See Me, John Cena. Which, when you start talking about WWE, you can't stop talking about WWE, because I know, like, the four of us, when we get online, right, when we sign on our social media, how many videos of wrestling content pops up?
Very rarely, actually.
Yeah,
Really?
very rarely. None happened a lot for me, but great Instagram account I follow is called Pipe Bomb News, and they post history stuff all the time of where on this day and a lot of different stuff. It's really awesome to watch. I recommend anyone that's a wrestling fan to go check out that page. Really awesome guy. I've talked to him a little bit over Instagram messaging, and yeah, that helps me find that fandom, because I agree the product has really died down since really a lot of the guys that some of us are growing up, especially you and me, Mike, we're starting to see what our people talked about, like our dads and all that. I'm sure your dad was a wrestling fan, much like mine was, but because he always talked about the guys that were leaving at his time when WWE was moving into that ruthless aggression era. He was talking about guys leaving like Stone Cold, finally getting old and retiring, The Rock, transitioning to Hollywood, all that kind of stuff like that. What? But
yeah, that's what I was about to say, Alex. When you're like, yeah, I'm sure your dad watched wrestling too.
Oh yeah.
Morally, did you watch wrestling? Because you're about my dad's age.
Ooh.
I did watch wrestling. I got to see the Stone. I remember The Rock before he was The Rock. He was Rocky Maivia, and The Rock and Stone Cold fighting for the Intercontinental Championship when The Rock was still part of the Nation of Domination.
God, you're old.
That's a history book for us.
That's a good one. That's a really good one, though. I don't mind it. The Attitude Era stuff is. I always say I grew up in the wrong era in wrestling. I would love to have grown up in that Attitude Era stuff. Not knocking the stuff I watch with greats like John Cena, Randy Orton, later career Shawn Michaels, same thing with Triple H. But having that Stone Cold, The Rock, the rivalry between McMahon and Austin, it's just tough to beat that.
Yeah, you guys missed all the good ones. Yeah, Cortland's giving us a little history too. He's Husky Harris, then Bray Wyatt, and then the Feed. Yes, he did all that. He did go down that way. Phil K, yes, Phil K is going to change our topic, so I won't put that out there yet, and I'll give it 1 second. But yeah, you guys remember Farouk as the guy who goes, damn! I remember Farouk as the leader of the Nation of Domination with D'Lo Brown.
But Reminded me of Maryland Hanks. He did the head bob every time he scored a touchdown. That's what D'Lo Brown reminds me of.
Yeah, so Cortland is 28 years old. He grew up at the back end of the Attitude Era and saw the rest of it. So he got to see the best of it, and then whatever you guys call your stuff that you guys watch now.
Ruthless aggression and PG.
Yeah, that's when the product started dying down a little bit. And also, then of course after the Attitude Era, you had the invasion thing with WCW. They're washed up people and all that kind of stuff like that. It was just awful.
Man, Cortland's bringing up memories. He said the Brood with Gangrel.
Oh my gosh, Gangrel, Christian, and Edge. That was before Edge became the superstar like that. The Ultimate Opportunist and all that kind of stuff like that.
E on the mic. If you want to hop in, we'll send you a link. We're just having a great time talking about sports, whatever comes to our mind, whatever people want to talk about.
It's in your Instagram inbox, E, if you want.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. Okay, so this might change the topics a little bit, guys, but Phil K, one of our guys in here, Cowboys win the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, boy. Next.
Well, that brings us up because training camp is actually starting this week. Football teams, NFL teams are going to training camp within the next week. Some are going earlier, some are going later. But within the next week, all NFL teams will be in training camp.
Closer to football. Closer to football.
I like
getting
it.
there.
I like
getting there.
So, what are the chances that the Cowboys win the Super Bowl?
0%.
It's never zero. It's never zero.
1% then. I'll give them 1%.
I'll take 1%.
It's the same story, different year. I'm saying the more PG term for that one because I don't want to say the actual one. We're live on a lot of different platforms right now, and my mother may be watching. You never know. So, in this situation, the Dallas Cowboys have a great offense. I will admit, great weapons. I'm a little question mark about Dak Prescott with his knee recovery and all that, but I have confidence he'll recover. But that defense is still awful. I still don't trust Mike McCarthy as the head coach. It's a tough situation for Dallas. Now, I do think there can be a playoff team, no doubt, because I think they have a very talented team, and they're in a very weak division where I think they'll have probably 3 teams competing for it, maybe except for the Eagles. I think the Eagles are probably the only outlier on that division right now because I think the Giants are poised for a decent season, depending on Daniel Jones. I think the Washington football team could be really, really good. It depends on how Ryan Fitzpatrick plays, what year Fitzpatrick we get. Do we get Fitzmagic or do we get Fitzpatrick that absolutely sucks? And the same thing with the Cowboys. Yeah, Fitztragic. There we go. And then it also really depends on for the Cowboys, Dak Prescott. How does he recover from the knee injury, and do they improve from last year's struggles? They're a question mark, but I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl. I don't think they can stop. I don't think they had the eventual firepower to do that.
I could see them be like a first-round exit, possibly. I think the defense is going to be a little bit better. They are going to be very young and inexperienced still, so I don't see them jumping from the second half to the front half of the league. But I could see them being right around that 15, 16, 17 rank, somewhere in there, and making a little bit of a jump up just because they put so much commitment into drafting defensive players. They drafted, I think, all but one of their draft picks were defensive players, which is actually kind of crazy to do in one draft, but those guys are going to be hungry, and they're going to be pushing the current starters to play a little bit better.
Cortland, I'm going to disagree with you. You said Washington winning the division. I'm going to disagree with you. I think the New York Giants are going to surprise a lot of people this year. Dallas Cowboys. You know what, Mike? I got to do it.
Oh, we going solo here, ladies and gentlemen.
Your team sucks. You're not about nothing. You're not going. Dak Prescott did put up a lot of stats last year. Yes, he did before he got hurt. Why? Because you were losing so many damn games, and he had to come back, and he had to throw all those. It's not like you were winning. He had to do that in garbage time. Dak Prescott is a good quarterback. He's not an elite quarterback. You need to knock it off. Your defense still sucks. Your offensive line got worse. The Cowboys are in a bad division. The Giants have a great defense. The Washington football team has a great defense. You're lucky that the Eagles are there because the Eagles suck. They're going to be the worst team. But the Dallas Cowboy fans, stop. Stop this nonsense because you're not going to the Super Bowl. You're done.
Yeah, I would agree. On that one.
I will be clipping this, Phil, okay? I will say this. He said Washington's winning convincingly.
No.
To me, convincingly is like you're benching your starters in week 18, which is normally week 17, but week 18 for us. You're benching them because you don't need to win that game.
Yeah.
I don't think that any NFC East team is going to be in that position this year.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know how
think
to
none.
say this name.
I feel like the Cowboys to me probably have about a 5% chance. I know I'm trying to be different. I don't think they're going to win a Super Bowl, but to me, the thing that separates them from the other NFC East teams, the Eagles absolutely suck. Prescott's not great by any means. He is not elite, but the one thing to me is what separates them is the quarterback play. Fitztragic is so inconsistent, and to me, if I'm a Giants fan, I cannot convince myself that Daniel Jones is going to be the star that can lead me to win a division. Prescott, I mean, coming off that horrific injury, that's really concerning. But, I mean, they did improve their defense. Their offensive line got worse. I mean, they got Micah Parsons, Kelvin Joseph, but both those guys were very questionable picks. And they also got Keanu O'Neal with the guy from the former head coach from the Falcons. But I just feel like the Cowboys will, in my opinion, win a division. But the Super Bowl to me is we go through this every single year. It makes no sense, honestly.
Yeah.
Cowboy fans trying to grab hope of something, at least, I guess.
Of course. Similar Raiders fans do this often too. But what I was gonna ask is, everyone, let's all try and predict our winner of this division right here on the air. Alex.
NFC East?
Yep.
I'm gonna take the Washington football team to win that division with an 8-8 record.
Jordan?
8-9, I guess now.
8-9.
Cowboys 9-8.
Joe?
I'm taking the New York Giants.
What do you think their record is going to be?
I'll give them 9 to 10 wins. So let's go 10 with the high. So what is that? 10-7?
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go
How about
Cowboys.
you, Mike?
I'm gonna go Cowboys 10-7 also.
And Joe, I think the Giants have a great amount of potential to win that division. It's just about Daniel Jones now because they got everything addressed. They got a good defense. They got a good head coach, in my opinion, in Joe Judge. They got good wide receivers. They got Kenny Galladay. They got Sterling Shepard. They have Saquon Barkley coming back. But God almighty, Daniel Jones has to cut down on the turnovers. And he could do it. He's a very talented quarterback. I liked him coming out of Duke, not 6 overall, but I did not like him but I liked him coming out. He's just got to get better at keeping the football, especially in the fumble situation.
Yeah, I see Cortland's comment, and I want to give this. This has been slinging around in my brain for like the last couple of weeks, but I haven't said it on any shows or anything yet. Just haven't had the opportunity because I haven't talked about the Giants in a while. But the only thing that is going to stop your defense from being great this year is poor quarterback play. New York. Keep that in mind. So, when Aaron Rodgers is officially on the market, in my opinion, the Giants should be going after him.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know if Green Bay would be down to send him to another team in the NFC, but it gets him out the division still. And for the Giants, it will be absolutely perfect. They can They can go for a Super Bowl for the next 2 or 3 years, and then move on to a younger quarterback. Because they got the core, they got a team around Danny Dimes, and he's just going to take them and throw them in the trash.
I think you're writing off Danny Dimes. We got to see what he could do. He showed spurts here and there. Let him see. Gets the whole season with Jason Garrett. With Barkley in the backfield. They brought him a wide receiver. Got us some tight ends. He'll be all right.
Let's see what he could do. It's definitely a make or break deal. This will determine where Daniel Jones goes from here. Is he still the Giants quarterback, or is he on the free agency market and the Giants are looking for a new one?
Fumbles and everything included, interceptions and everything. I think it's 49 turnovers. Either he's fumbled or thrown an interception 49 times in 2 seasons. You just don't fix that. You don't just wake up one morning and stop being a turnover machine.
How about you tell Brian Bolster that about Sam Darnold next time you see him?
I do. Every time he brings it up, I say, I think Sam Darnold is going to improve a ton, but I do not think he's a long-term starter in the NFL.
You guys saw the picture on the screen, right?
Yep, we're moving this on. Sorry.
What do you think? He wants to know, where does the Titans offense rank at the end of the year, and is it good enough to give them a deep playoff run?
I say we let our guest Jordan take the first take on here. Jordan, what you think about that, brother?
I know I have a probably unpopular opinion, but I don't think the Titans even win the AFC South, honestly. I'm really, really, really like the Colts. Carson Wentz pairs, at the time, former offense coordinator, Frank Wright, who really had Carson Wentz playing like an MVP candidate. There's rumors possibly maybe they could trade for Zach Ertz and Michael Pittman, who's I think could be a nice wide receiver. They have one of the better offensive lines in the league. They have a nice defense. And then you look at the Titans. I think the Titans will be good. I think they're a playoff team. But Ryan Tannehill, to me, he's one of the more underrated quarterbacks in the league. Derrick Henry, obviously one of the best, arguably the best running back in the league. A.J. Brown, Julio, to me, it's their defense. How we were talking about the Cowboys, how they have so many pieces on offense, but just that defense is a huge question mark. To me, the Cowboys and the Titans are just very similar because the Titans, I believe they were last in the NFL in sacks last season or one of the last teams. And you're playing a team like I know Jacksonville is not great, but they're improved. The Colts are very, very much improved. And with the 17-game schedule now, you're having teams who last season who weren't really great and not really playoff contenders. You're going to have teams like the Chargers and the Bengals and different teams who weren't playoff contenders last season, but possibly could be this year. I think it's going to be harder for the Titans to make a long playoff run. I think they'll make the playoffs, but I don't think it'll be a long run. But honestly, I don't even see them winning their own division.
I could see that, yeah. Because I agree about the Colts. I think they're poised for a massive year. I really like Carson Wentz in that system back with Frank Wright. So yeah, I really like the Colts in that. I think it's going to be two heavyweights fighting for the win in that division because I think both of them have a lot of potential. You got the Jaguars, who I think are still rebuilding. They're doing it well, but they need to rebuild still. They need to figure out Trevor Lawrence. They need to continue to surround him with talent. And then you got the Texans, who I think are going to be in a three-way battle to land Spencer Rattler in the next draft because I don't think they're going to do anything. And then, so yeah, I think the Titans, my biggest issue with them is actually Ryan Tannehill. I don't know what he is yet. Is he the guy that can that can lead this offense? Now, he doesn't have to all the time. They got Derrick Henry. But in the playoff game against the Baltimore Ravens this past year, when Derrick Henry was neutralized, Ryan Tannehill could not move the ball to save his life. And when it mattered most, he had that game-winning drive to where he could get the game. Next thing you know, he throws a pick, and that cost him the game. So Ryan Tannehill has to step up, show that he is a true top 15 quarterback, which I think he is, but I need more consistency. I need him to step up when it matters most. Because in my opinion, that's really the only thing holding that offense back from being top 5, maybe even top 3 in the league. Because when you have that big, massive amount of weapons, Derrick Henry, Julio Jones, and A.J. Brown, that's hard to lose with, especially with a guy like Ryan Tannehill, who I think is a top 15, maybe even borderline top 10, as Cortland says right there, quarterback and Ryan Tannehill. But step it up. I think their defense is in the end was going to cost them, but I think the Titans couldn't make the run. Ryan Tannehill, just step up.
And good to possibly great coaching as well. He's got it all there for him, built in. Yeah, I'm glad you got that takeout also, Robson, because I know that's one that you said on your show. So getting it out here on this one.
Yes,
the
sir.
Titans offense has the potential to be unstoppable, but it also has a potential to completely fail. So I don't know how to feel about the Titans offense. And to me, I think we're going to get Ryan Tannehill that we're used to having, a game manager who can make splash plays when he needs to make some splash plays. But the question is, can all these guys stay healthy and make it through an entire 18-week season and into the playoffs?
Especially Julio.
We broke down the mock draft at the end of last time, but we could talk about it later to get to that. Sorry about that.
Yeah, Hoove, if you want to come on, there's a link in your inbox also.
But Ryan, look, I haven't got on this topic yet, right?
No, you haven't.
Right.
Go ahead.
I like the Titans. I do. The defense to me is a little bit iffy still. I know. They brought in Janoris Jenkins, right? Is he the same Janoris Jenkins from the Rams day to the Giants day to the Saints? There's a reason teams keep getting rid of him, right? They brought in Caleb Farley, who was supposed to be the top-ranked cornerback in this draft. Then some things happen. I think he has an injury or something. So let's see what he does. Huh?
It's back surgery. That's why people are so turned off from him, because he's got back surgery. And that is not an injury people recover well from.
Yeah, and then I know, Cortland, I was just going to mention it, Bud Dupree. But Bud Dupree's coming off of a big injury, right? He's coming off of a big injury. Is he going to be 100%? I know people like the Nico Autry. They like Harold Landry. Jeffrey Simmons. I know that defensive line is a little bit better than what it was last year because Clowney was a bust there. But that's where I'm kind of iffy on the Titans. I know that they could put up points. It doesn't seem like people are going to be able to stop Derrick Henry like they did last year. And that's, if you saw the games, they were able to, no, even with AJ Brown, they said we're going to shut down Henry, and then you got to try to beat us. Tannehill beat us. So can Tannehill beat you? Hopefully he can. Can Julio Jones stay healthy throughout the whole season? Is that offensive line good? You know, that's another question mark. Is that offensive line? So I have my doubts about the Titans, but I'm not going to go and crown the Indianapolis Colts right now because I have a lot of more questions about the Colts than I do about the Titans. But they both benefit from they have two shitty teams in their division, Jacksonville and Houston. That's 4 wins right there for both of them.
Yep.
Yeah, you see Cortland in the chat. He's defending the Titans. I do think that the Titans defense is going to be improved. Similar reasons to the Cowboys defense improving. They've got young guys on that side of the ball that are going to be hungry this year. But we'll see how improved. I don't think it's going to be a top 10 defense by any means still, which means the offense needs to be elite for them to be successful if they don't have a top 10 defense.
And we mentioned Bud Dupree. I honestly think, and I'm going to get some flashback from Cortland on this and other Titan fans, but I think that's one of the more overrated signings in the free agency period this year. Because Bud Dupree had the ability to have T.J. Watt, one of the league's most premier pass rushers, on the other end of him. And that's what happens. They draw the focus on T.J. Watt. Bud Dupree can come swoop in and take some of that as well. But now, Bud Dupree, you ain't going to have that. So prove me wrong here. I think you're a little bit overrated for what you are. Let's see if you can really be that game changer on defense that a lot of people are hyping you up to be, or was T.J. Watt being so good making you look good as well?
Yeah, and it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy because I always comped Bud Dupree to Melvin Ingram, former Chargers, the end, who signed with the Steelers today.
Yep.
That's not fair in my opinion. That's just not a fair signing at all.
What do you mean?
Okay, if it's the Saints over the Buccaneers one, we're not talking about that one.
Yeah, we're not talking about that one. No, we're not talking about that one.
Melvin Ingram is the comp that I drove closest to Bud Dupree, and Melvin Ingram has never been good as a solo act.
Exactly. He needed to get, and that's not an issue at all. If you can take pay cuts and show that you can be a talented pass rusher, that's okay. But I don't think Bud Dupree is a number one pass rusher, much like Melvin Ingram is not a number one pass rusher. But, man, Melvin Ingram on the other side of T.J. Watt, that's scary.
He's not the same as he was. He's not the same as he was. But I would take Dupree over Ingram right now.
How dare you, Robson, put Bud Dupree down like that? Bud Dupree is good on his own. He's good. If he is healthy, he's going to be okay.
How
do you know that T.J. Watt didn't benefit from Bud Dupree being on the other side?
Of course they do. That's how pass rushers work. That's why you want to have two great pass rushers. Look at the 49ers. They got Nick Bosa and was it Fred Warner is the other one?
And Tariq Armstead.
And Tariq Armstead. They got three. Max and Juan, what's up, gentlemen?
Max and Juan, you guys got a link in your inbox if you want to join in on this.
Plus, he only counts. Yeah, that's the good thing about the Bud Dupree contract. Like I said, if Bud Dupree is 100%, which he's coming back from a bad injury, but if he can be 100%, then it's a good signing for the Titans, and hopefully they do. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying those are my concerns going into the season. The Titans can come out and go 17-0, but I'm just telling you my concerns going into the seasons is that defense, is that offensive line, and it is Ryan Tannehill.
Yep.
Congratulations on 1K. Thank you. Thank you,
Max. Which is a lot of concerns. That was like a list of concerns, Joe.
But I mean – but which team can't I list concerns about? You can always find the negative in the team.
Kansas City Chiefs.
I don't know. Yeah, that's true.
Only one team beat them last year. So, well, two teams technically. The Super Bowl team and then one other team.
Yeah. And you know who they are. The Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, God.
Well, people will come and say the Chargers beat them. But the Chargers beat him in Week 17 without Patrick Mahomes.
That one didn't count.
We didn't get beat by Chad Henne like the Browns did in the playoffs.
Phil K, no.
Not in
no. Nope. And not even in the Bizarro world are they better.
Not happening. No, okay, just get out. No. Next topic, okay.
Just turn off your computer and go to bed.
Okay, we're not that serious. But You could take a break from the computer if that's what
Right.
it's leading you down.
Mike, can you read that comment for me?
Rah rah ooh rah rah. Gaga. He thought I was, huh?
I try to get him. But no, yeah. I mean, Kansas City Chiefs. You could pinpoint a couple things. You could still think about the Kansas City running back situation.
Not a concern to me.
Their defense is a little bit of concern. There's a little bit there. Yes, there you could.
A little bit for the defense. I'll give you
Is that offensive line, the new guys on the offensive line, are they going to gel? Because they brought in Kyle Long. He's already hurt. So there is a couple things. But, I mean, you're not really too concerned. You're not going to find a whole list. You're going to nitpick the Kansas City Chiefs when you're going to do that. But I'm saying there's on most teams you can find something wrong.
And every day that Mitchell Schwartz doesn't get signed by another team, his cost keeps going down and down and down. You're going to see that news. He just signed with the Kansas City Chiefs to go back on a veterans minimum. Watch. It's going to happen. And then they're going to have a superhuman offensive line in front of Patrick Mahomes and a superhuman receiving core with a superhuman tight end. The defense just needs to be average.
Super. You just kept saying super.
Yeah,
super.
Travis Kelce.
It is
Yeah,
Travis Kelce.
There's nothing stopping them from lifting that trophy instead of Tom
If
Brady.
you say
in
Travis
terms of Super
Kelce,
Bowl.
I heard he'll come and kick your butt now. Because it is Travis Kelce.
It is Travis Kelce from here on out.
How many announcers do you think are going to try to say Kelce throughout the season?
All of them, and you're just going to see it slowly decline back into Kelsey throughout the year.
I mean, if that's his name, that's what we should call him. But why did he speak up now? He's been a superstar for like 5 seasons straight.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
Like this isn't a rookie. This isn't a breakout player. This is an all-time great. That's like, oh yeah, you've been saying my name the whole time. Wrong.
It's like, oh, now you want to say something.
Jordan, thanks for coming on. His computer crashed, but thanks, Jordan. It was good having you.
Yeah,
over
pleasure
there.
having you on, man.
That'd be like if Brett came on and was like, no, actually it was Favre the whole time.
Felke. Felke, he just said, you know what? You guys want to go? He goes, you guys need a troll today? That's me, Felke.
Steph over LeBron. Oh, my God.
Hopefully when he says Steph over James, he means Steph over James Harden. He didn't clarify.
Maybe James Jones.
Felke, put in the chat Space Jam 2 over Space Jam 1.
No, hell no.
Don't you
Space
do that.
Jam 1 dominates that category and can't even. You already know, Mike. Space Jam 2.
Looks like.
I'm not knocking Space Jam 2. Space Jam 2 was good. It was all right. But it nowhere compares to
Okay.
Space Jam 1.
Don't be like, I'm not knocking it. It was all right. Give it some praise. It was good. Say good at least.
There you go. He says Kansas City has some concerns, multiple spots, but Mahomes covers all up. Winning covers up a lot of stuff. I'll tell you that.
I mean, hell, they can have all the concerns they want to, but when they're winning a Super Bowl this year, that the concerns ain't going to matter because they're going to have 2 rings in 3 years.
Cortland, I like you, man. We got to get you on our YouTube. Go find our YouTube channel. Make sure you like it because we're not always on Facebook. Sometimes we're on Twitch, we're on Twitter, but we're almost always on YouTube. So if you can make your way over there later on and subscribe, turn the notification on, it'd help us out a lot so we can get you on more of our stuff. Because like tomorrow we're going to have basketball live. We'll do a live stream during the basketball game.
Game 5, baby.
Look at that.
Game 6.
Not
Game
even
6.
close, bro.
I do have a topic I want to talk about, guys. I do have a topic for the NFL I want to talk about.
All right, go ahead.
Because every year we have these. Okay.
Nah,
Okay.
We're about to go down the Space Jam route. Let's get back into the NFL because I'm about to piss Max and Juan off.
Anyway, let's get back to NFL chat here because that's what we're on the topic of. But
yeah, it's pretty
good.
good. You know why? Because people my age who remember the first Space Jam thought they were going to get it, and we got some knocked off version with another basketball player who can't act.
I like
And
it. I'm not your age.
whatever. I'm just glad Michael Jordan was in it.
That part did piss me off. But let's not stop. Alex, what were you gonna say?
yeah, I haven't seen it yet, so let's all pump the
sorry,
brakes.
sorry.
Oh, pump the brakes.
Yeah,
Spoiler
pump the
alert.
brakes.
This is what happened. I'm not.
I'll send you my HBO Max login, Alex. You can watch tonight.
Oh,
Anyway.
there we go. Well, I'm not tonight. I got work tomorrow morning. But
HBO,
whatever.
his name is Shawn Michaels, and he's giving other people his password.
I thought my name was Mike.
What does it say on the screen?
That was like that Kofi Kingston moment where like I thought you had an accent.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's one of my favorite things ever.
Oh yeah, hey, that's a good point. That's a good point. I think it's Juan talking. That's a good point.
See, I almost started going on a tangent about a part of the end of the movie, but I can't right now. So, Alex, what was the NFL topic?
Yeah, back into it, please, for the love of God, before this movie gets ruined for me, because I actually want to watch it. Yeah, for the NFL, we always have these teams that are kind of surprising, teams that maybe really struggled last year and then come out and actually look pretty good. May not necessarily be the playoff team, but who do you guys think will be the surprising teams coming out? Some of the bottom dwellers from last year that may come up and be pretty solid. Maybe not record-wise, but just look better than they did last year.
You just
the
crap out of it. Go ahead, Joe.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. You don't know what that is, Alex?
Sounds like the NFL Network theme or something
Oh,
like that.
you know where they got that from, right? That's the Raiders theme song. And just to let you know,
Oh, boy.
Mike and I were tagged in an article because earlier today, I don't know if Mike saw it, but I saw it on Twitter, where somebody tagged us, and it was an article about how there could be 4 playoff teams out of the AFC West this year. Do I believe that there'll be 4 teams? No. Is it possible? We've talked about it, right, Mike? The last year we were talking about it, that in a division there could be 4 teams. I don't think the Broncos are that good, but let me just tell you.
The Broncos are the one that we're worried about not making the playoffs.
Mike, you're just a Raider hater. You're just a straight Raider hater. There's nothing about that. You can't look at the good inside the Raiders. No matter what, when you look at the Raiders, you're going to hate no matter what. You can't see that the Raiders are a 9 to 10 win team.
This is what you told me last year.
9 to 10 wins?
This is what all the Raiders fans said last year.
In that division with the Chargers and the Chiefs?
Mike, did I tell you 9 to 10 wins last year?
At least us Chargers fans have a sense of reality. Okay.
So that could be 4 losses right there against the Chargers and the Chiefs.
Who predicted the Chargers record?
He thinks that they're better. Oh, that's the wrong way still.
Wrong way.
It's a mirror effect. Anyway,
there you go.
He thinks that they're better than the Chargers, the Raiders.
No way. I'm sorry, Joe. I'm not a Raider hater at all. I want the Raiders to succeed. I'm actually a big fan of Derek Carr. I want him to succeed as well. But they're not better. They're not better than the Chargers. I'm sorry, they're not.
He's gonna ask who won more games last year. Go ahead, Joe.
I'm just saying. Mike, last year I gave you my prediction. I told you. Why am I echoing?
Go ahead.
Echo. Anyways, I told you the Raiders would go 8-8 last year. What happened?
They went 8-8.
I told you what did I tell you the Chargers were going to do?
I don't remember what you told me.
I was dead on their prediction, and you go,
your word for
bull crap. You said I was lying at the beginning of the season.
That isn't.
I know. I'm not one of these Cowboy fans. I'm not going to come out and say Raiders are winning the Super Bowl, but I'm going to tell you the Raiders are going to win some games. They are going to win some games.
I agree.
We should go through their schedule right now.
I can pull it up.
It's not worth it. It's not that show. It's not that show. You're not that guy.
You're not that guy. You're not that guy.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not.
I think if we're gonna have this conversation about 4 teams making it, we should be making it about the other West division, the NFC West, because it could be very likely that we see an adjustment period with the Chargers, and they don't even make the playoffs. I mean, a lot of people have kind of written them in as the team that's going to make the playoffs that didn't last year, but we do this. We've done this before with the Chargers. So I think the NFC West would have a more strong case to send 4 teams.
Woo! I don't think it happens. And I think it's going to be a team that a lot of people think will make the playoffs, but I don't think they will. My dad's going to not be happy with this, but I don't think the Seahawks are going to make the playoffs this year. I think something is going to happen this year.
Seahawks fans right now, they got their fingers on the button because they know that everyone has a case against them. Every time I post any kind of Seahawks slander, they're all in the comments like,
I'm sorry,
we have Russell Wilson. And I keep responding with, not for long.
That's one guy, and I honestly think he may be the biggest name moved at the trade deadline. There's no way he continues dealing with this crap that the Seahawks have done. This is just not a good situation for the Seahawks. I think they have burned bridges that they should not have with Russell Wilson. I know they finally drafted an offensive lineman in Stone Forsythe out of Florida in the 5th round or something like that. Too little, too late. You wasted your opportunity of the prime of Russell Wilson. He is slowly starting to decline. As much as I love Russ Wilson, I just don't think the Seahawks got it. I just don't think they do. I think they missed the playoffs, and I honestly think Russell Wilson says, you know what? At the trade deadline, I want out.
You saw some serious stress in the second half of the season. Yes, they ended up winning 12 games, I think. Those were stressful 12 wins
because the defense came out of nowhere and performed amazing, and the offense just sucked.
Okay. Timeout.
Okay.
We're not going to throw Seattle. Every year, people try to throw Seattle under the bus, and they keep proving us wrong. We're not going to do it. The worst team in that division is still the Arizona Cardinals. It's still the Cardinals by a long shot.
That's saying so because the Cardinals are still really good.
They have a lot of talent. Doesn't mean they're good. Because mainly it's probably the coaching, right? Pete Carroll always finds a way to get it done. Alex, do you get tired of ever being wrong?
Tony, I'm right a lot more than you think. You just like to nitpick on which ones I'm wrong on.
The 49ers will be better. The Rams, are we really buying that the Rams are going to be better with Matthew Stafford? That's that much of an upgrade? I'm not.
They're going to the Super Bowl.
Why? What makes Matthew Stafford a god? He came from the same thing that you throw on Derek Carr and all these other people. Matthew Stafford did the same shit in Detroit. He still sucked in Detroit. Did you see his team going to the playoffs year after year?
Okay, hold on now. You're really going to blame Matthew Stafford
Johnson
and terrible coaching. They were awful. They did nothing. Okay, you got Megatron. That's great. But they did nothing after that. After Megatron left, what did they do to surround him with anything other? I mean, they're terrible. They've ruined Matthew Stafford's career.
Do you think that Deshaun Watson will make the Rams Super Bowl contenders?
Oh God.
That's my question.
Can he move around? Yes.
Okay, yes. Matthew Stafford can move around too.
He's sneaky athletic. He's not a Kyler Murray.
Did he not break his back last year or 2 years ago?
Last year what Deshaun Watson did with nothing almost around him, to me, was absolutely amazing. Matthew Stafford was putting up similar numbers to what Deshaun Watson did last year when he was healthy in Detroit for like the last 5 seasons straight. But there's just nothing there. There's no defense. There's no coaching. There's no help.
I think there's no nothing in
there. Matthew Stafford has it up here too. He's up in the upper percentage for football IQ as well. He's actually a lot more dangerous than I think you think, Joe. He's a very good quarterback. He's a top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
Look, Matthew Stafford is a feel-good story. Everybody wants the guy to leave Detroit and go on and win something. That's all. That's what you're getting for. It's just the feel-good story. We all liked Matthew Stafford in Detroit, and we were like, oh, he's so good that he needs to go somewhere else. But how many of his stats, how many of those great plays did he put up in garbage time? That's what we got to find out. I'm not saying they're not going to win. I'm just saying we need to lower the expectations. We need to lower the expectations on them.
For what? I mean, that team is built perfectly. They got a better quarterback, incredibly deep in weapons, the best defense in the NFL, a great young head coach and offense in Sean McVay. They got everything you'd want in the team. I think they're the only team really that you could in the NFC, really, aside from like the Bucs and all that could compare to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs in terms of they could beat them.
How many times can the Rams continue? How many off seasons can the Rams continue to go into and lose their key free agents and back them up? How many times can they do that?
Who did they lose?
They lost John Johnson. That's it.
Another defensive piece. They lost their defensive coordinator. They're losing pieces left and right.
But they still got Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey.
What did they do to the offensive line?
The offensive line wasn't the issue. It was Jared Goff.
The offensive line was fine.
We'll let the season decide. We'll let the season decide. But I'm going to say 49ers are better. Rams take a step back. Seattle takes a little step back. Arizona is horrible. So
the 49ers are no.
No, I would disagree on that.
49ers went 6-10 with who?
The 49ers.
With nobody.
They can 6-10 is awful.
6-10 with
trash
with a depleted roster.
6-10 is a top 10 pick the next season.
6-10. That's
You're
one
bragging
win away
about
from being the same as the Chargers, and you just crowning the Chargers.
And
Chargers went 7-9, and you're crowning
I
them.
didn't crown the Chargers shit. I
And
said
the 49ers at least
I
had
said
an
the
excuse.
Chargers could miss the Super Bowl. 6-10 is also one loss away from 5-11. What do you think about 5-11? Is that overperforming with whoever's at quarterback? Who went 5-11 last year? Did the Lions go 5-11 last year with Matthew Stafford?
Probably.
And you're shitting on him.
It's crap. 5-11 is crap. I didn't say 6-10 was good. I'm saying 6-10 for everything the 49ers went through was damn good. For their team to keep fighting with multiple stars on the IR was great. Did they get rid of Jimmy G as their starter yet? No.
They shouldn't.
Rams
I think-
best team in the division, maybe in it. Come on, Tony.
Thank
I
you.
agree.
I
Come
like
on,
it when we all gang up on
In the
it.
NFC? In the
Yes.
NFC.
Yes.
So you're going against the Buccaneers, Tony?
Yes,
Now
they
you
are
guys
on-
went-
I think they're
Now
going
you
to
guys
be
are
on
putting the
that level.
Buccaneers to the side?
I have the Rams winning 12 games, and that's only because the division's so tough. If they were playing in the AFC
Garbage.
West, let's say they replace the Broncos in the West, I think they sweep the Chargers and the Raiders with ease.
No. You guys are garbage.
Just
That's
in that
garbage.
division is tough. Every road game you play versus the Cardinals or versus the Seahawks or versus the 49ers, you walk in there, if you win, like you kind of got lucky a little bit. Those are some tough teams.
I do like what Juan was saying earlier, and this is one of my teams that I've been talking about all year, and you guys haven't agreed with me. And Alex is going to go nuts right now. Is the Carolina Panthers? I do like the Carolina Panthers. Their defense got better every year, every game last year. And their offense is bringing in some weapons, and they're bringing in Sam Darnold. Christian McCaffrey's back. I think they make a step forward with the Atlanta Falcons going back, with the Saints falling back in that division. Why not the Panthers?
I like the Panthers improving this year, so I agree with you.
You
on
want to
that.
know why not the Panthers?
Oh, here we go.
Sam Darnold is why not the Panthers. The guy's awful. What has he shown anyone that he can improve anything? Mike, you talked about the turnover issue of Daniel Jones, but everybody seems to be giving Daniel Jones that one more year. We're actually not really even that one more year. There are a lot of people out there that are already putting the stake in the heart of Daniel Jones, saying, all right, Daniel Jones, you're a bust. Get on out of here. When we talk about Sam Darnold, who has been so much worse than Daniel Jones, and he's getting the free pass. Like, what is going on? It's not like the Giants situation was much better than the Jets. It wasn't that much better. So I think, really, it's kind of a double narrative here. You're giving the pass to Sam Darnold, who's been worse, but Daniel Jones, who has not been as bad, has had better moments, I think has looked better throughout his career than Sam Darnold, and he's been just as bad. I mean, it's just, and he's going ahead and getting the stake in the heart. I just don't understand it. I don't understand the love for Sam Darnold. I get he's a pretty California boy and all that, but he is a California bum, another bust out of USC at the quarterback position. He joins Mark Sanchez as one of the worst ever in Jets history.
Yeah, him and Daniel are very similar. I'm ready to give Daniel one more year. Not even a full year, though. I think I said, what was it? We were talking about Nick Mack, like 7 weeks or something is what I said, is when Mike Glenn is going to be starting for the New York Giants this year.
Mike.
Yeah, he's the backup, I think, right now. So
Yeah, but he's,
I thought it was Colt McCoy.
no, I think it's Mike Glennon and then Colt McCoy is the third. Or
God.
however that depth chart rolls out.
if the Panthers are dangerous, then the Jets are a playoff team.
He's
I think the
doing
Jets
like
can.
that.
I think the Jets could be a playoff team in 2 years at least.
And you're talking this, you're saying that I'm delusional, and you have this guy saying the Jets are going to be a playoff team.
That's 100% worse, Alex.
Not this year. Not this
That's
year.
what-
No. They're not playing
The
this
Raiders
year.
are making it. The Raiders are going. Oh, not this year. Okay. Like in 3
No.
years.
I'm thinking probably about 2 or 3 years. Yes, not this
That's
year.
fair. Any team can
That's-
turn it around in
I'm
3
gonna
years.
say, how's that bad? I'm like, how's that bad? The Jets have potential. The Jets, they got a young quarterback in Zach Wilson. They're starting fresh there. They got a talented wide receiver. They got a talented and very deep wide receiver core. They got Corey Davis. You got Keenan Cole. You got Elijah Moore, who's absolutely been tearing it up in preseason camps. You got Denzel Mims as well. You got an improved offensive line, a supposedly really good coach in Robert Saleh. I'm holding my breath on that. I don't know what he's going to look like when he actually coaches an NFL game. I think the Jets have reason to be hopeful. I think this year they could be a 5-win team, and I'd be okay with that. And I think next year will be another step in the right direction. I think they could be a borderline playoff team, maybe make the playoffs. So you know how it's going to shape up. But I think 3 years is probably the max. If Joe Douglas can't get this team with how well he's been doing to the playoffs in 3 years, then I feel like his tenure here has been kind of a whiff.
Well, my thing is we don't know how well they did this year yet. Still, they got guys that need to develop. That they need to develop this team, and it is good that they're in a situation where they can get some playing time as long as that playing time is productive. It's all on Salah to make sure that this season, I think the next season after that, and maybe even the season after that, for Zach Wilson, for Elijah Moore, for all these young cats, Corey Davis, his first experience being a wide receiver one. He needs to, in the losses, find some kind of productivity out of it, so that way in 2 years when Salah's job's on the line, they can have a breakout year.
I agree. Yeah.
Otherwise, he's just going to get fired if he tries to win now.
Amy says
Hey.
y'all never gonna get him to stop talking about his Jets.
That's my mama. That's my mama on the chat
Aw.
right there. Love you, Mama. Thanks for already
You like the Jets too?
Oh, no, she hates football. But she sent me – this is what makes it funny. This is what makes it funny. So Adam Gase's first year in the NFL, with the Jets anyway. Do y'all remember when in the Giants game where that black cat was in the end zone?
Mm-hmm.
Like it was running around the end zone? She sends me a meme of says, the black cat has spent more time in the MetLife Stadium end zones than the New York Jets. I was just like, why of all people, how are you the one sending me this? I expect my dad to send me something like this. Not you, Mama. Come on.
Mama's got jokes too.
Yeah, and she hates football. Although I will admit she has been a trooper a couple times, watched a couple NFL drafts with me, watched some Florida Gator games with me. So she's a trooper. She's a trooper when she needs to be.
Alex, what was your opinion on Sam Darnold when they drafted him?
Bust. Immediate bust.
Okay.
I was not happy with the pick. I watched him at USC. And I thought this guy reeks of Mark Sanchez 2.0. I
Alex,
thought that yes.
all right, I gotta call you out on something.
Call me on something. I'm fun with it.
Mike knows where I'm going with this.
I don't. I'm scared.
Last season, the Jets sucked.
Yeah.
Yes.
Horrible.
I know this.
And we have talked. We've known each other for over a year now. And in that group chat, you said you did not want to be a Jets fan anymore.
Oh,
I did.
no.
I did. And this was hilarious. No,
I'm picking a brand new team.
I'll admit this. This is hilarious. I will admit.
What team did you decide on before you said, you know what, I'm going back to my Jets. I got to stay with my Jets. I'll give you that. You went back to the Jets. You never left them. But you did have one team that you thought about leaving the Jets for. What team was that?
It's hilarious because that team ended up being the damn Carolina Panthers. That's what's funny about that situation because – and that's what I found so ironic about when I heard Sam Darnold trade rumors when he was still at the Jets, that the team leading the charge was the Carolina Panthers. I was like, man, I dodged a bullet there. I'd have been one unhappy mofo if that turned out to happen again. I would have been breaking stuff. I would have been breaking everything.
Even Mama knew the Panthers.
Leaves the Jets because of Sam Darnold, and Sam Darnold almost gets traded to the team that you go to.
Tony said we're pulling out receipts today. We're pulling out receipts.
And I love it. I love it. I love it that you did that, Jim. That's hilarious.
What's up?
The Sports Scoop. What's up?
What up? Oh my God!
What's up?
Finally. What's up? Finally get to talk to you in person. What's up? Good to see you.
What's
guys.
up?
What's up, Joe? Seeing you again. It's been a while. It's been since April since we did that live stream. What's up? Good to see you, Alex.
Likewise, my man.
We're talking about the Carolina Panthers.
Oh no, I don't like Sam Darnold very much. I'm joking.
Finally.
I'm joking.
On Joe, throw stabs at him.
I'm joking. Look, I mean, great offensive coordinator, great head coach. He has weapons. We'll see. I mean, he has a fantastic running back. Well, I mean, it's all for Daniel Jones is my quarterback, so I have a lot of understanding of having weapons and having a quarterback who hasn't been good. You're just lucky, Mike. Your quarterback's Justin Herbert. Like, you got lucky with that one.
I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, you know who's not lucky? No one else on this stream right now. Because
so, Alex, who's your guy? Are you a Panthers fan?
Me? I'm a Jets fan.
Jets fan. Oh God.
I got my boy Zach Wilson.
Actually, no, sorry, not oh God. That's good, Zach. I mean, you don't know yet, but
I have faith that he's going to be pretty good.
I have faith as well.
Some new hope.
Yeah, there's some.
There's some new hope. We haven't had that in a long time.
Alex, Tony said that you and Sam Darnold are destined to be together.
Fight. We're destined to fight forever, right? Like I said about the WWE stuff. Me and Sam Darnold are destined to hate each other from the day we were born.
The best couple is the one that doesn't have the same things in common. So you and Sam Darnold like this.
Joe is Derek Carr. That's decent.
I love Derek Carr.
Yeah.
I would say
If Derek Carr was on another team, people wouldn't be hating on him as bad.
Joe, you know what my saying is? Gruden's better on TV than he is at coaching football.
I might agree.
Do you agree with that?
I might agree with
I think
you
it's
on that.
I think it's a good take.
I would agree.
I think he got built up a lot more. This is okay. I don't know how many other teams were fighting to have Gruden come back as a head coach, but Gruden was built up because of the Monday Night Football. Yes, he was a great analysis and great person commentator on ESPN, but people forget what he did. But Raider fans, bringing Gruden back, and I wasn't on board when they brought Gruden back, but when they brought Gruden back, Raider fans got on board because they reminds them of the time that they won. Right? The last time the Raiders won was with John Gruden. So when you brought John Gruden back, that's why they were excited about it. But they weren't looking at the X's and O's at the time. John Gruden has to learn, and that's what's holding them back a little bit, is John Gruden is still trying to do his old school and not improving with the new school offenses that they have now.
Right.
That's what I was about to say, Joe, is I think that this year you're going to see a little bit of a shift. I still think you're going to be run first. You got Kenny Drake, you got Josh Jacobs. But I think you're going to see some more shotgun work out of your offense this year.
Yeah.
Going on 7.
Joining the stream 7:00.
What's going on, everyone? How you guys doing?
Happy birthday to somebody.
Yeah, it was my wife's birthday yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday.
I'm pulling,
Happy birthday.
pulling double duty with the little one right now. I'm trying to get her set up so I can join the round table and shoot the stuff with you guys. I won't say I'm excited for the Raiders, but I think they have some upside. I was a person a little disappointed that they didn't go target one of these decent big name receivers because I think their receiving corp is medium at best. I know Joe Morley. I want to keep my job, so I'm gonna keep it to a minimum. But I think they're poised for to flirt with 500, and maybe they can make a run for that seventh seed. I think they're gonna come up short for that 7th seed personally.
Yeah. I hate that the NFL added another game because you can't say 500 anymore, which just gets me so angry.
Cowboy fans love it. Cowboy fans we're not going 8-8 no more.
Joe, I think you're hoping that Rodgers leaves and then Devontae Adams goes to the Raiders next year, and then you get the receiver. Then you get the guy.
Well, it's funny because I put a post up on my own personal account today on my own Instagram about the receivers. I think because that is the group that they need to get out. I love Brian Edwards, and I don't think he really shined last year. He was injured most of the time, but he's been one of those guys that he's coming out of South Carolina. I think he could be that guy to do something. So I'm waiting for Brian Edwards. I know a lot of people are hoping that Henry Ruggs comes through, but I know the wide receiver position is what we need. People don't when people play the Raiders, they don't fear those wide receivers when they take the field. They're not fearing those. So they need to set that straight. And like you guys said, hopefully John Gruden has learned and he's brought some people in to update that offense just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think Alex, you got it.
I was kind of shocked that the Raiders weren't one of the front runners to get Julio because I thought that'd have been a great addition for them. Get a true number 1 receiver like that to pair with Derek Carr. Because the last time Derek Carr was truly amazing like that is when he had Amari Cooper who was running out there and playing amazing. The AC-DC connection, which I loved when they were doing it together. So I feel like if they got a Julio Jones right there to pair with Derek Carr, I thought that would have been a great duo in my opinion. Really elevate Derek Carr back to that near MVP level he was at before he got injured.
Yeah, man, I think looking at the I wouldn't say improving, but kind of seeing how much more crucial tight ends can be when they're good, and having Darren Waller, having Henry Ruggs, I think really going to be important for him is he's going to go into a season where he's not expected to be. Last year they brought him really speedy to be that wide receiver 1, and obviously he wasn't it. But this year you're looking at Darren Waller is going to get somehow probably going to get more targets, more target share, is going to be that guy, and I think especially 7 for you for fantasy is going to can knock that tight end. It's so hard for Travis Kelce to take him off that throne, but if there's someone who's going to do it, I think it could be Darren Waller. I know. I think the Raiders' offense again, Joe. I don't want to disappoint you. I think they'll be a like 9-8, 8-9 team. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe they do less. I don't know. I think they'll be around there. But I would say for me, it's Chiefs, and then I think Chargers are going to take a ginormous step next year. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, I'm glad you finished it off with that because I've noticed like we're going around the table and everyone was saying too many good things. No one was saying,
Yeah.
no one was saying anything bad things.
Quick
My biggest
question. Oh,
So-
my bad.
Go ahead.
Joe is a Raider fan and Mike as a Charger fan in the AFC West. What are your thoughts about the offensive line?
The Raiders' offensive line.
Mm-hmm. You
That's
lost
what
Hudson and Jackson.
That's what I was about to get to. Is my biggest issue, and I had the Raiders winning 5 games. Yes.
5.
Hate.
Okay,
fueled-
now.
Hi, Kate.
5. Wow.
Hate fueled some of that. But what mostly fueled this was I feel like the Raiders brought in a bunch of average to maybe you can argue are slightly above average players to fix some big problems. The defense, what did they add to the defense? They added Yannick Ngakoue.
And they got Mohrig, who's a good safety.
Mohrig. Yeah,
They got some good. I mean, you have good safety depth. You got some good safeties. You got Mohrig. You got the Mississippi safety who's good. Besides that,
Casey
Ngakoue,
Hayward.
Casey Hayward.
Exactly. Average players to fix a big problem. Casey Hayward is not a good player. He's not a great
Top guy he
cornerback
was.
1 anymore.
Yeah.
He's an average cornerback 1 now.
Who's the Chargers cornerback 1 now? I'm sure I'm forgetting this.
It's going to have to be Chris Harris, and that's a weakness.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You just want to.
Oh,
That's a weakness for us too, is cornerback.
Yeah, but I mean, you think about it. Chris Harris, veteran, will be able to do the job well enough. And then you have Asante Samuel, who can stay with any receiver. He's incredibly fast. So I mean, I think you have that. And then Joe, that Leatherwood pick had to kill you. I know it killed me. I know it killed me.
The Leatherwood pick killed me, but if you swap the first and second round pick, it doesn't make that bad.
Right.
Because I wanted Mohrig.
Yeah, right.
I want him in the first round. So I'm happy with it. But if you look, I know a lot of people are saying the Raiders' offensive line, the offensive line. Okay, they got rid of one guy. If you think about it. Because Trent Brown played, 2 games last year? 3 games? He wasn't there. He's gone. What's his name? Gabe Jackson didn't play last year. He was hurt almost all year. So they got rid of Rodney Hudson, who was the glue, but he started talking and running his mouth. So it's kind of an addition by subtraction. So they have Colton Miller, one of the best young tackles in the league. They have Richie Incognito coming back. He's there. They have Andre James, who they're really happy about at center. He's if you look at him up, Denzel Good did a great job for them filling in last year. Now he's a starter. And then you have Alex Leatherwood. They brought in a couple guys, John Simpson and Nick Martin, to back up, and Lester Cotton. So they have a good core offensive line, and they're going to have a better offensive line than they had last year. Now that defense, I understand that defense is crap. Horrible, right? But Mike will fight me all the way with this. I'm not saying he's a great defensive coordinator. What I'm saying is Gus Bradley coming in and doing his thing. What does Gus Bradley do? He has top 15 defenses. Why? Is he predictable? Yes. But he takes players and he makes his defense easy to learn, and he puts you in the right position. He's not one of those coaches that go, this is my system, and I put a player in that system. He'll make the system around that player, and that's what the Raiders need. The Raiders just need their defense to be just a little bit better, and that's what he's going to bring to them.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very valid point. But look, it's just for me, I think that division is significantly improved because Herbert, to me, is like a scary, scary guy, especially. And I know, Mike, I mean, you got a fantastic center. Again, I mean, Mike, and I did want to talk to you about this or ask you about this. There are a lot of people who are saying that Herbert's going to drop a little bit and he's getting a little bit too overrated. A lot of people are like, why is he a top 7 quarterback? Why is he up there? I'm not personally one of those guys, but like, what would you have to say to that? Because I think Herbert's a dark horse MVP guy, but
I'm okay with keeping Herbert outside the top 10 right now. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with keeping him in that little tier that's like right outside the top 10, right? Mm-hmm. You have your elite quarterbacks. There's a little group right there with like Matthew Stafford, Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson. And that next tier where you got your Bakers, your Tannehills, all those guys, I'm okay with him hanging out there until he gets one more year behind his belt. I don't know if I would have – I'm going to do my top 10 for every position. I did the kickers last. I'm not sure if I'm going to have Herbert in my top 10. So I'm okay with it. Just don't be too crazy. Yeah. There's people coming out here and saying
top 7.
He's going to – either overranking him or underranking him. I saw him at 17 on someone's ranking.
That's – I mean, because ESPN dropped theirs and it was like – I think it was Stafford 10. Oh, yeah. He is a – I I like. I don't know. Yeah, he's all right. But I mean, they had Herbert at 7. So again, depends on kind of what
Yeah,
you
you
think.
got all your play action guys like
Yeah.
Baker, like
Mhm.
Tannehill, like
Exactly.
Cousins, like all those guys that their game is play action, stand in the pocket, throw the ball. I think Herbert should be ranked above them because Herbert can do exactly that at the same level they can, but can also move.
And he doesn't have kind of that workhorse guy in the backfield, which all of them basically do.
I think he should be right above those guys. Behind Stafford, right in front of those guys. Wherever that is in people's rankings, that just depends on where you have Kyler, where you have Lamar, where you still have Brady. Brady obviously is in that top 10 still. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with ranking him outside the top 10, but let's not put him at 20 or 17 or 15, 16.
I love this question right here. College football talk always gets me happy. I know you guys aren't big college football guys, but I am. So I'll read out this question. I'll give it a quick answer. I don't know if you guys are big college football guys. You can jump in if you want. Going to cover the ACC National President. Who do you guys think will be the top national championship contenders and how the new NIL ruling will affect the quality of play? I'll answer your question first. I'll give my playoff predictions, kind of my opinion. It's going to be kind of easy, number 1 and number 2. I think number 1 is going to be the Alabama Crimson Tide. I think Bryce Young is going to have a big season, in my opinion. I think he's going to be the next superstar Alabama quarterback. Definitely a dark horse Heisman Trophy winner candidate under Nick Saban to lead the Tide to another national championship possibly. The number 2 team I have in the country, it's going to be a little controversial, but I got the Clemson Tigers still claiming back their throne. I think Clemson – I'm not even going to try to pronounce the guy's last name. I'm just going to call him DJ, the guy that kind of subbed in for when Trevor Lawrence was out for 2 games because of COVID. But DJ, he's an incredibly talented quarterback. I know they kind of struggled with him against Boston College and against Notre Dame, but that's a small sample size, and that's in a weird season where COVID was an issue and all that kind of stuff like that. So that's definitely not an issue for me. Number 3, as much as I hate to say it, I got the Georgia Bulldogs in this one. I like JT Daniels. I think he has finally going to get his shot. The Georgia offense looked completely different with JT Daniels at quarterback over Stetson Bennett and DeJuan Mathis. I think they really the only hurdle for them in the SEC East from going to the SEC title game is the Florida Gators, my Florida Gators, but I think Florida's going to take a little bit of a step back, losing all that talent. And number 4, this one's going to be a little bit crazy, but I am a man that believes that defense wins championships. And I believe defense is going to lead the Oregon Ducks to the playoffs. They have an amazing defense with Kayvon Thibodeau. I think they got Justin Flo. That is a absolute monstrous defense. They may be the only team in the country, in my opinion, that can have a okay to good offense and still be a top-tier team in the NCAA right now. So I think that could be my playoffs right there. I think they have an easy ride to the Pac-12 championship. Only team really I see stepping in their way is the Washington Huskies. But to answer the question about the NIL, I don't think it affects play that much, but we could see more star players staying that extra senior year instead of jumping to the NFL. I definitely think that is a possibility because the biggest thing that drew the superstar players away from college, their redshirt sophomore year or their junior year in college, was the lure of the big money they could make in the pros. But now that they can make that big money possibly with sponsorships in college, you may see some of these guys stay in that extra year in college if they like the environment enough, if they're playing for a top-tier program, playing for the prestigious programs like Alabama, Clemson, Florida, Georgia, those big-name blue blood programs, I should say, those power programs, as I like to call them. You're playing for those guys. You want to keep being prestigious and make that big money playing for college and still get to hang out in that college town environment, which is a big thing. I know a lot as a college kid that goes to a college town, live just down the road from Radford University. I know that's nothing like a Virginia Tech or anything like that, but still. So I think it definitely could affect play a lot. So I am looking forward to seeing what the new era will look like with college athletes getting paid. And I know I could definitely speak for a couple people in this room maybe that play the old school college football video games. We're looking forward to that new installment in the coming years.
I'm glad you mentioned Oregon. I'm glad you did because I didn't want to be the only one that said it. But you don't think Oregon's going to have money flowing over there? You don't think they got a lot of money for those athletes in Oregon?
Oh, they gonna be making.
Have you seen their cleat room and their kits and the tours they do? Like insane.
They don't wear one jersey.
Yeah.
More than once every single year.
Yeah.
That's
and
how
they
crazy
have
they
very nice jerseys. Yeah.
They got bank over there.
No, I mean,
like Notre Dame.
I've seen like 10,000 reasons why people are against, and it's usually the people even above your age bracket, Joe Morley. But just against college athletes getting paid. All those reasons, them getting paid more than the coach, them being disrespectful to the coach, them doing this, them doing that, them abusing the school, whatever it might be. All those things throw out the window because those are just all things that come with having money at any stage in your life.
Exactly.
My worry is, are the high schools going to implement some kind of programs or something to teach these kids how to have money?
Exactly.
So they're going to wake up one morning and be filthy rich. What do?
I agree.
You wake up as an 18-year-old man and you're filthy rich.
And
You
singing
probably
Billy
aren't going to make, if you're
Best
just
decisions.
without any training or any extra classes or anything that they could put these kids through in high school, you're probably going to do bad things with that money. That's my only concern with it, is what they're going to do completely away from football on a Saturday night, partying with their friends.
Yeah.
Now, of course, that sounds like with every kid. There's plenty of college kids, like your guys like Trevor Lawrence and your Justin Fields, guys that you could tell have a good head on their shoulders. But I'd be terrified as hell to have an 18-year-old Johnny Manziel have that type of money.
Or like
Good
Tyrann
God.
Matthew when he got
Johnny
Tyrann Matthew or stuff like that.
Yeah,
That'd
Johnny
be,
Manziel had that kind of money.
Yeah, that's what I mean, is like guys like Lawrence and Fields and guys that have already been in the spotlight even in high school. Those guys have a different mindset because they've already gotten this kind of training from someone in their life. Like, hey, you got to act differently in public because you got to protect your image. But what about the no-name kid that came out of Doherty High School down the road from me, who made it to D1 school somehow?
Robson, as a Florida fan, could you imagine that Tebow-led Florida team getting paid
Yeah.
with the
New
Pounce brothers?
Yeah,
and
oh
we
my.
have been able to keep
Percy Harvin.
bringing back Mercy Sir Percy Harvin for another year. That team would win that title in 09, man.
That
That
team
would
right
have
there.
been amazing.
Imagine
It will
if
be
they
the
got
most
paid.
chaotic championship team of all time.
Oh,
Or the
God.
Terrell Pryor.
Give them some money.
A priest, a murderer, and a racist walk into a bar.
Oh my God.
The Terrell Pryor Ohio
Yeah.
State team.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
getting paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of what ifs if these guys are getting paid back in the day. But speaking about getting paid, help us get paid. Sign up for Prize Picks, download Prize Picks, enter the promo code Warzone, and they'll match up to the first $100 of your entry. Help us out, guys. Hey, was that good?
That
was good,
that
Joe.
was
Great
good.
day.
That's
Hey,
why
look.
Joe's the showman. That was very good, Joe.
Officially the best plug in Warzone
Yeah.
Oh,
I praise.
Jay the plug was about to say. Jay's about to.
Okay, Jay. Okay, Jay.
All
No, I didn't mean
6'7"
like-
is him. All 6'7" of him's gonna come.
I didn't say the best plugger of information. The best plug of information so far.
Yeah,
Singular plug. Okay, Jay.
Joe, just disrespect and post like a reel of like Joe Morley plugging you into some information. Go plug in the code Warzone on.
Plugging you in with some information. Mike and the Mike said on the most
Yeah.
recent live stream that I am really
I'll have
In
Seven
reality.
give me some fantasy advice, and then I'll be like, yeah, this is Joe Morley plugging you in with fantasy boot camp.
In
Seven, I wanna-
reality, all Jay the Plug has to do is shove the fact that he is interviewed about every NFL player in the world at this point in our faces.
I don't know how he does it.
Unbelievable
He's
how lucky he
crazy.
gets.
Seven, I have a question for you in terms of fantasy. Cam Akers, where are you taking him? Because I really like him.
Man, don't do me like that. Don't put me on the spot.
On the spot.
Don't do me like that.
So I'm torn because obviously he finished the season well.
Mhm.
What a lot of people aren't accounting for is that we had a COVID offseason.
Yeah,
So imagine what he would have looked like the Akers, the Taylors,
Exactly.
the Dobbins, the Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So now this guy's got a full backfield. I think Henderson is only there. They got rid of one guy. Went
to the Dolphins.
Yes.
The Malcolm Brown.
Brown.
Yeah.
So now there's less mouths to feed. I have an article coming out this week on Warzone about the worst pick in fantasy football 2021. And I think it's the 9th pick because you don't know what to do with it. You could go Aaron Jones, but you don't know about Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
You can go Devontae Adams, but you don't know about Aaron Rodgers. You can go Diggs, but do you really want to go receiver that early? I think Akers will be drafted late first, and I think he will live up to that. I don't think he has top 5 upside.
Okay.
Because he is a volume rusher. If you look at his yards per game, he's not that efficient, but he gets opportunity. I think he should go. I think he will finish where he's being drafted, which is late first, early second.
Okay. So would it be a kind of guy where you have back to back and you're taking him with that second pick?
Yeah, either or. Give me like Akers and Diggs, or
Yeah.
Kelsey and Akers, or Maybe
So
one
he's
of-
so he's RB1 worthy on your roster if you have a decent RB2 or a good flex.
yeah. I mean, hell, and sometimes I've seen him go like 14. So maybe you got
Yeah.
Aaron Jones and Aker, and now it's like, okay, I love him as my RB2.
Right.
So it just all depends on how the draft board goes and what you feel comfortable. I
Mhm.
mean, one thing nice about that turn is that you're going to get two kind of second tier or even like 1B guys. I wouldn't even call them second
Yeah,
tier. They're
yeah,
still
yeah.
RB1s. They're still RB1s, but they're not like the first 8 where it's like,
Gotcha.
these guys have they could finish top 3 easily. I
Yeah,
don't think
yeah,
these guys could finish top 3, but I think they're still going to be in the mix personally.
Mhm. Okay.
How do you guys feel about your teams earlier in the mock?
I like mine. I thought mine was pretty solid.
Yeah.
I wasn't in. Sorry, Mike, you got it.
Who's the guy
run
who
through
took
mine.
2 quarterbacks in a single quarterback draft? Did anyone else catch that?
He took like 4 quarterbacks
Oh,
actually. 'Cause he-
The guy who took Mahomes at like 5.
No.
No,
Well, yeah, didn't he?
You're talking about Dalton. No, he was the guy. He was on air with us for the beginning of the draft.
I think it's
his
app
sleeper
on.
app. His sleeper app was glitching, and it was like auto picking.
Oh, because
It took
I
him
saw he
four.
took Russ and
Even
then
in-
took Lamar, and I was
Yeah.
like, wait, this a
Yeah, it took Russ, Lamar, Stafford, and Watson all in the same draft.
Which screwed me because I was planning on waiting until the end and then grabbing a quarterback late. So like he moved all the quarterbacks that I've been
Yeah.
looking at late up to QB1s with those draft picks. I had to leave
Mhm.
early, so I got auto drafted Justin Fields. I didn't really get to look at my team before I had to go.
Yeah.
7, I got my team pulled up. You can go ahead and rank this however you want to. Give
Let's
me a
do it.
grade on it. Let me know. All right, I'll just go through it. My quarterback, Josh Allen, got him in the 3rd round. My first 2 picks turned out to be McCaffrey and J.K. Dobbins.
Mhm.
I got my wide receivers are C.D. Lamb and Mike Evans. Tight end, Mike Gesicki. My flex is Tyler Lockett. My kicker is Tyler Bass. Got the Rams defense. And on my bench, I got J.D. McKissick, Leonard Fournette, Corey Davis, and just for the hell of it, the last one, it's like Zach Wilson.
I like your squad a lot.
I like that.
If you have a solid RB1, obviously you have a good RB2 that has borderline RB1 potential. I hate that they gave Gus Edwards that contract because I'm someone
I
who
know.
always follows
I don't know
the
why
money
they did
and
that.
follows the draft capital. So if someone moves up to draft a running back in the draft, I know like, okay, whoever the running back was, I don't want any shares of him. Like I don't want Melvin Gordon this year. Last year I didn't want Marlon Mack before he got hurt when they drafted Jonathan Taylor. Gus Edwards is making like $4 or $5 million a year, man. He's not getting that Marlon Mack 1 year, $2 million. He's getting that Kenyon Drake type money, which lets you know he's going to have a bigger role.
Mhm.
At least they're paying him for a role, and that kind of worries me. But I think he's not your RB1.
Mhm.
You have the RB1 who should finish RB1. You have him there. Josh Allen, I don't like him at that spot, but I do like him overall. I mean, he's returning QB1, so you got to love that. Then you got some great value with Evans and Lamb. Gesicki, a lot of mouths to feed. And I think that Dolphins defense is underrated. And I don't know that they trust Tua. I could see
Right,
Tua
I don't.
filling that kind of that game manager type role where he only throws the ball maybe 22 times and they just run the ball with my man who just got signed from not just like Gaskins.
Malcolm Brown. Oh,
And
sorry.
Brown. Yep. It could be a 2-headed horse. Over
Yeah, it's a
there.
double punch because
Yeah,
Gaskin
and
receives Brown just a
You
3rd
got
down.
Waddle, Parker, Fuller after 1 game. Oh, you got an apple? Fuller after 1 game suspension, and then you got Gesicki. I mean, there's a lot of mouths, so it's not a bad pick. Tight end is always that dice roll if you don't get one of the big 3 or the medium 3. But I liked your squad, man. I think you would flirt with like you might be in that 3-2 spot and flirt with that 1st round bye.
Yeah, my tight end I was really targeting was Kyle Pitts. Everybody here knows that I absolutely adore Kyle Pitts.
You're a Florida guy too.
I'm a Florida guy, but this is not. I try not to be biased with that. I just think Kyle Pitts is an absolute freak of nature. In terms of
Just throw that out the window, Alex. The Jets are making the playoffs a couple minutes ago.
No, I did not. I said
Alex,
about
you're
3
biased.
years.
You're the most biased fan I've ever talked to.
Never.
I mean,
Yeah.
Joe, when we were on the live with Justin, he said that they were making the playoffs. So you're not the only one.
The
Wait,
Jets?
He said he said something about the Jets making the playoffs. I'm almost certain. We did a free agency live, and he either said it on air or before that. No, not you, Joe. Justin did. I know for a fact. I'm gonna tell me. I know he did. He said something about the Jets making the playoffs. Yes.
I need to find that clip. I need to chat with him.
If I'm completely wrong, Justin's a very, very nice man. So I don't feel terrible. I'm like 99% sure he did. But I do have to get off. I have one more question for all of you, just fantasy related. Quickly, you can't think. Who your number one, you're the first pick in the fantasy draft, who are you taking? So I don't know where I am. I'll just go like 7, Mike, Joe, and then Alex.
I'm gonna go McCaffrey.
Yeah, CMC.
Okay.
My expert.
Derrick Henry.
Okay.
It's easily Christian McCaffrey.
You think so? I think it because PPR, the catching and the running. That's the same with me.
Yeah, he is PPR god, basically.
Exactly,
Like, he's
exactly.
Freaking believable. So.
Also,
And then I drafted him last year, and I didn't get to play with him, so I need to get him this year. But thank you guys so much for having me on. This was awesome. Thank you so much.
Take care, man.
Thank you for coming on, man.
I'll see you guys later. Thank you. See ya.
Now it's just the 4 of us.
Anyways, I put a post. I put a post on my page. And I asked for some random topics.
We've got a stub toe.
She's gonna be really good at fantasy football. When people told her.
Yeah.
There was a question on TikTok in that post that I made. They said if Tua struggles this year, what's the direction for the Dolphins?
Ooh, that's a good question. If Tua struggles this year,
No, I mean like after postseason, what's it mean for Tua? Is he getting a year 3, or are they going to go ahead and get someone in there?
There's no way he gets. They were already talking about. If it wasn't the Dolphins talking about it, I'm a big believer where there's smoke, there's fire, right? So they were already talking. There was already rumors out there about Tua being traded this year, maybe for Watson or whatever they had going on. So for the Dolphins to have that out there and not slam the door shut and be like, no, Tua is our guy. That means they have thoughts about Tua, right? When they were pulling him out of the fourth quarter games last year, they had thoughts about him. Yes, is he going to be healthier? Yes, but does he get a year 3? If he comes out and they don't make the playoffs and he struggles, he does not get a year 3. No, he doesn't. He's gone.
I have to respectfully disagree because I actually agree with a lot of stuff you said, Joe. If he struggles, then there is definite reason for him not to have a year 3. But I just have to give him the benefit of the doubt, man. Too, when he was on in college, when he was healthy at Alabama, you just can't ignore what this guy did. I mean, this guy was virtually unstoppable when he was healthy at Alabama. But so I feel like they got to give him one more shot if he does struggle. Just continuing to build a wall around him, get some more weapons in there, do whatever you have to do to get Tua Tagovailoa comfortable. So I honestly understand if the Dolphins say, nope, you're done. We're not giving you a year 3. Let's go into the draft and find a new guy, or let's sign somebody else. I would understand it. I still think it would be a mistake, though, giving up on him too early, in my opinion.
I kind of just to add on to what you said, I agree. I mean, they spent the draft capital on him. To just toss him after 2 years like he's Josh Rosen would be kind of crazy. I don't think he's going to struggle. I think Tua's ceiling is Alex Smith. Remember Alex Smith for those 49er teams where he was like, great defense. We're going to run Frank Gore. I think that's what we're going to see of Tua. He doesn't turn the ball over. He just doesn't push the ball either. I think they given him the weapons to try to succeed or make some progress. I think we're going to see a lot of progress. You guys forget this guy had a dislocated hip, broken hip. Mm-hmm. Then he had a COVID season. Just because he didn't have the season Hibbert and Burrow had, I don't think we should write him off that quick. But I also don't think that he's going to be asked to be like that gunslinger. He's going to be asked to be a game manager and let that defense do the work and just don't turn the ball over. And then they're going to be in a lot of more games than out of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Colin Miller said he agrees. Or
he's who gave us this topic. Thank you, Colin, for this topic. By the way, I recognize your name. But
thank you, Colin.
Drop a sub while you're here if you have it.
Year 3.
I think
he still does.
Yeah, it's a tough topic. I'm actually gonna agree with Joe here for the first time in the history. But not because of the reasons that you said, Joe. I think that they'll give him the benefit of the doubt if the Dolphins were a rebuilding team. But I think that this team is 1 year away from wanting to contend. And if Tua has a rough year and they don't feel like they can contend with him, we'll trade him for one of these quarterbacks that are going to be on the market next year, which I'm I'm looking at Russell Wilson. I'm looking at Deshaun Watson. I'm looking at these guys that you're starting to see some possible drama starting to brew. If the Dolphins are in that win now mindset by the end of next year and Tua isn't doing it, I think they pull the trigger and move on. Brian Flores is a very smart man, and it's something that Bill Belichick would do if he absolutely needed to. So I'm on Joe's side.
Yeah, put it on the board.
Hell has frozen over.
I know, right? Let me see what's going on outside.
I know.
The end of
I'm
days.
glad Piggy's not here to see this because he'd be all upset.
Oh, dude.
Oh, also, I want to say, for Piggy's sake, if he does watch this back, the expectation should not be Herbert your rookie year. That should not be the expectation. Herbert's
That
so much
should never,
better than Tua.
Never.
So much better than Tua. So why would we expect that? That's like Hall of Fame expectations your rookie year. I mean, come on.
And I think that's the thing. I think we got a little bit spoiled with the two other rookie quarterbacks we had. Joe Burrow, before his knee injury, was playing awesome, was proving me wrong. That was one of my legendarily bad takes. I thought Joe Burrow was not going to really that great in the NFL because of the system he had at LSU being so perfect for him. But he came into the NFL and he proved me wrong immediately. Like, he showed that he has the composure and the ability to be a star in this league. And then Justin Herbert, who I was very high on, and oh my God in heaven, like, Justin Herbert just exceeded everybody's expectations. So I think with Tua, a little bit, we got a little bit spoiled with those other two guys. We kind of forgot what a real rookie season looks like. Yeah. And we saw that with Tua Tagovailoa and Colin Miller. Man, I don't even know you. Why the hell are you throwing shade up in here, man?
That's what
I was cool with you for a second, man. We were really, really cool, man. Like, you gave us this topic, a great topic of discussion. Appreciate you. But now you're just an ass. Why you got to be like that, man?
Why you got to be like that? Why you got to be like that?
So, Irv Smith versus Gaskins partner.
Oh, don't start this. we already exhausted this one.
No, we haven't, because I won that one.
Oh my God!
And I don't know if you heard, Stephen, but he finally admitted Irv Smith is a sleeper.
Yeah, I did.
If I never hear that word in my life again, I'd be happy with how much I've heard it today.
Sleeper, Irv, or Smith? Which one?
All three.
Yeah, we'll add a fourth one.
Mike, I got a buddy texting me right now. His name's we call him Francisco. So if you want to say what's up to him, everybody say what's up, Francisco.
What's up,
Francisco? What's good, man?
He's a Charger fan. He's texting me right now, and he says that I don't know what I'm talking about. And he said Herbert is going to dominate next year. And he says, sup with Alex being all over Tua's leg. I'll just go there.
His third one, I assume, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He said, move on because nobody cares about Tua.
Oh, I care about Tua. I know what I saw at Alabama, and that's a star in the making, in my opinion. He had the talent at Alabama. Now, then again, it was under the Nick Saban system, and that's fooled us all before. But, man, it's just hard to know what Tua did when he was healthy. Now, I could be 100% wrong on Tua, and I definitely not a first time. This is not a first time for everything. I've been wrong a lot on a lot of things. But there are some times where I've hit the nail on the head, and I think I may be right on Tua.
How do you do that as a Jets fan? I don't get it. Like Piggy wearing a Patriots hat. You don't root for your division rival. I don't care how good Justin Herbert is. I'm not going to come out there and say, I hope Justin Herbert comes out and has a great year. No, I hope he sucks. He is good enough where he's still behind the Raiders. You don't see Seven coming out here rooting for Lamar Jackson to beat down the Pittsburgh Steelers every year.
It's not about that. It's not about that. Because we're talking about a guy who has been shunned by the NFL word because he had a okay rookie year when two other rookie quarterbacks were dominating. It's just not a fair take, in my opinion. I know I'm a Jets fan, and trust me, I agree with you. I hope Tua is just like the guy that is just enough behind Zach Wilson to still look okay, but it's just as bad as Zach Wilson. Just a little bit behind him. That's all I want. But still, in the end of the day, Tua Tagovailoa is one of my favorite players in college. I loved watching Tua play football. So I do not mind getting a little hate for that. But Tua, I want nothing but the best for him. I want him to be successful. Hell, I'm fine with if it's not on the Dolphins. Give up on him, Miami. Go for it.
Colin
There we go. I got another one.
Got another one. What'd Colin say, Joe?
He said, Francisco, stop hating. Hey,
he came back to my defense. What is this guy? Fence leader? What's he doing?
Colin, and I want to talk about this real quick. Let me do something real quick because I want to talk about this. Colin, I see it. I see it.
8:30.
And you guys
Yeah.
probably agree. You guys are probably going to agree with me right now, right? Best quarterback in the 2021 draft.
You want me to drop?
No one's gonna agree with that.
This was not the best quarterback.
No,
This was not the best quarterback.
no.
Mike.
The
I
best
don't know who it
quarterback.
is.
The best quarterback's a little bit taller. Got blonde hair. He wears number 16.
Justin
wears
Fields
green.
is gonna. You want to talk about who's going to have a rookie impact? Justin Fields.
You might not even
You
get
might
on.
not even play. You don't know.
I tried to
But-
go there, Colin. I saw that you got the Bears fan stuff on. You got all that on.
I knew what you were doing, Joe.
Yeah, I saw the Bears logo on there. I assumed this topic was coming, but honestly, I think Justin Fields' ceiling is through the roof. I think his ceiling could be arguably the best quarterback of that draft. But I think Trevor Lawrence is one of those generational talents that come around once in 100 years. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be sensational. And I think it really depends on how Justin Fields develops. He could end up being the second, maybe third best quarterback in this draft class because he does struggle with read. Reads the defense is fine, but after that first read, if it's not there, he has a tendency to panic a little bit. If he fixes that, it's going to be a lot better. But in my mock drafts that I had him as the third best quarterback behind Zach Wilson and behind Trevor Lawrence.
I will say this: Justin Fields is a whole lot closer to being compared with Zach Wilson than Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, he could have been playing the NFL out of high school.
The gap between 1 and 2 in this draft class for quarterback is about 10 miles long.
Yeah.
You got Trevor Lawrence and then whoever the hell you want to put at second and third. Like that's just how big the gap is because
Same
it doesn't
thing with
matter.
Trey Lance. This is a conversation between Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, and Justin Fields for second.
Yep.
What do you guys think about the landing spot? So I am not a fan, and I do not trust Urban Meyer.
No.
I think he's actually going to hurt Trevor Lawrence, if anything, and that's something that I'm looking at career-wise. You know, who's going to be a second coach at this point in year 3?
Wow, already?
The Jags is the Jags, right? The Jags is the Jags.
I'm so high on Lawrence and watching tape on him, even like in his early years of high school watching him play. But I'm so high on him that I think even if Urban Meyer is awful and gets fired after his second year, Trevor Lawrence is still set to have a great career. That's how I think that the Jaguars could win 5 games next year, and Trevor Lawrence will be a bright spot.
Alex,
Yeah, that's what I agree. What? I saw that photo you put up.
is this your quarterback? Is this your
having
quarterback?
fun?
That
Are
just
you
looks
having
like
fun?
that just looks like bad offensive line play, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Thank you very much, Mike on the Mike
guys.
Sports.
Murdering your star quarterback.
And that's the thing I don't get with Zach Wilson haters. What the hell do you expect from a guy that played at BYU? Do you expect him to win the Heisman? You don't, because he's playing at BYU. Look at the tape of what Zach Wilson did at BYU. He made plays out of nothing. He made these guys at BYU look really, really more talented than they probably are. Zach Wilson has a lot of potential. Now, I more agree with Mike here. As he says, it may take a couple of years for Zach Wilson to develop. And I've heard that a lot. And I honestly agree with that. I think it may take a year or two for him to adjust to the NFL. But if this guy is hitting on all cylinders, we're talking about a guy that can do it all. He is mobile enough in the pocket to where he can make plays with his legs. He's got a cannon of an arm, has that untappable confidence that he has. It borders on arrogance a little bit, but it's still confidence. Like he trusts himself, and he is a film junkie. He's always trying to find ways to get better. That's what I love about Zach Wilson. That's what I think separates him from Sam Darnold, who people say is better than Zach Wilson, which is just completely ignorant. So, but yeah, Zach Wilson, I really like. I think he's going to be a star for the Jets.
We just went in a full circle. You see that?
Back to Sam Darnold.
Right back.
Always.
All roads lead back to where?
How
Sam
dare you
Darnold.
mention the name that should not be mentioned?
Because I hate him. It's just
Voldemort.
Hey, for
always.
hating somebody, you sure bring him up a lot.
because he's inevitable in this place. You all make fun
That's
of
like
me
the
about him.
ex-girlfriend that you keep talking about. Like, I don't like her. I never liked her.
I'm over.
I don't even think about her anymore.
You know this ain't
Oh,
about me. I don't know where you're talking about ex-girlfriend from. That ain't
Sammy,
it.
come back.
Oh no,
No, that's more like Sammy, stay the hell away.
Alex,
That's
and
what they all say.
I'm
That's what they all
happy that
say,
you have
and they're
hope.
married.
Alex. I'm happy that you have hope in New York because you guys deserve hope with how much pain you've dealt with. I think the biggest thing for me was Zach Wilson. I've gone up and I've gone down on Zach Wilson, so I'm kind of trying to mellow out here in the middle. My
You
thing
put
was
Mac Jones over him. I don't want to hear it.
I said Mac Jones is more NFL ready today than him. That's what I
Look at
disagree.
Seven. I
I'm
just
about
saw Seven's face right there. Like,
I'm
what?
about to explain why, Alex. I'm about to explain why I think Mac Jones is more NFL ready
Please
than him
do.
right
Please
here
do.
today. What's
Go
going
for
to
it.
make a quarterback great in the NFL is, first of all, consistency. But really what it's about is taking what the defense is giving you, but also taking a mitigated or strategic amount of risk that's going to give you the best chance to succeed. So don't throw the Hail Mary to, Chris Godwin if you got Mike Evans one-on-one. That's a risk that you want to take. Mike Evans versus a smaller DB. Okay. Zach Wilson was running around like a damn maniac in BYU, and I know that's what he had to do to try and get his team to win. My thing is, he cannot do that in the NFL. He has to be okay with the check down. He has to be okay with the check down. That's what makes Brady so good. Is Brady's okay with, oh, he took it all away. Here's my running back. Here's my tight end. That's what Zach Wilson's got to do. What I saw a lot of was Zach Wilson that wowed me at first, that got me so high on him to where I was like, this guy's going to be amazing, was that he has the talent to make throws like guys like Mahomes. He has that level of arm strength and ability to throw at different arm angles. But does he have the IQ and everything else to control that and not do that on every single play? Because you can't do that on every single play.
Mike, we need to get our social media department on this and go back and just cut it to where you said that, or where he said that you had Mac Jones over Zach Wilson, and just look at
I saw it. I was looking straight at his eyes.
44th minute. It was the 44th minute.
Mac Jones is more NFL ready right now because of that reason. He takes the right amount of risk at the right times compared to Zach Wilson to me. But that's just something that I need to see.
Since we're on the Jets, does Michael Carter become the starter at any point this year, or is it just going to be a split backfield, Robson?
I think he should become the starting running back. I don't know if that's what they're going to do because they are bringing that Kyle Shanahan style offense to the Jets, so they may split time. But I'm okay with that, honestly, too. You got Tevin Coleman, who I think is still a talented back. Of course, you got Michael Carter. You got Ty Johnson, who is a young guy who I like. A guy I wish we would give more a shot to is LaMichael Pirine, obviously because he's a Gator, and that's a little bit of bias in me because I've met LaMichael Pirine before. Absolutely amazing person. Met him at my first ever Gator game in 2019. But that's a different story. But yeah, it is. He's probably going to be the outlier in this. I imagine he'll probably get cut. But if that's the trio we're running with, I'm okay with that. But in the end, I think Michael Carter's talent for where we got him in the 4th round is through the roof. I mean, This guy can make plays with his legs, catching the ball, running the ball between the tackles, running to the outside. He is an incredibly talented football player, and I was so psyched when we got him in the 4th round. I think, honestly, him and Elijah Moore out of Ole Miss in the 2nd round will be probably 2 of the biggest steals in the entire draft, in my opinion, from what they could become. So I think, I definitely think Michael Carter should be the starting running back, but honestly, I do not see it becoming that because it's just a split backfield type style.
You guys had a good little draft, especially trading up to get USC. Was that Vera Tucker?
Elijah Vera Tucker. That was a great pick. We needed that kind of power move.
It's like, I feel like you guys were making. I was telling, was it Joe Sterno?
Joe Skirdo, yep.
I was talking to him in one of his lives, and I was like, man, I feel like you guys are like making that turn that the Browns started making like 2 years ago, where it's like, there you go. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to draft a quarterback, then get a lineman to protect him, and then go get some weapons. And it's like, it's finally coming, full circle for them.
They're kind of reminding me of the Dolphins because a few years ago, the Dolphins were considered a joke. Thanks to this guy, actually. He actually mentioned that in the post of this. Talk about the Dolphins?
Somewhere in Southern California, Piggy's ears are burning. It can smell bacon. You better knock it off.
Alex, did you see this?
I did see that. I chose not to acknowledge it. Colin, you're giving me mixed vibes, man. I don't understand what is wrong with you. What did I do to you? Like, what personally did I do to you,
Colin
man?
can't-
Basically, what
Hey,
Colin is
that's,
saying
that's Bolster's burner account.
Is it
yeah, it could be. It could be. Basically, what I think what I'm getting from Colin is Michael Carter, Tevon Coleman, Elijah Moore. It doesn't matter, right? In the end, it doesn't matter because the Jets suck.
I don't think that's the case anymore. If it was Mike McCagnon as the GM, I would think so. But I think Joe Douglas has this team going in the right direction. I really genuinely feel like now I'm not expecting the Jets all of a sudden become a playoff team 1 year after drafting Zach Wilson. That's not going to happen. You don't have turnarounds like that come that quickly. But I honestly think the Jets, in potential in about 2 or 3 years, could be a borderline playoff team to a wild card playoff team. They have that potential to be that. They are building this team right. They're not drafting 25-year-old defensive tackles like Mike McCagnon was. They're drafting quarterback. They're drafting a future starter quarterback. They're drafting a very talented team around that starting quarterback. You get Elijah Vera Tucker, you get Elijah Moore, you get Michael Carter, and then the only real outlier on this team, where a position that really needs addressing, is corner. I don't know who the hell is Bryce Hall going to be their starting corner? Like, that's just not what they need right now. That's not a good fit for them.
Honestly,
but then again,
I feel bad.
Robert Saleh's defense is focused on the defensive line play. So I honestly think it may be okay. I'll have to wait and see. But honestly, the New York Jets, I feel like they're finally doing things right and could be a team on the rise in the future.
Yeah, and you guys are gonna have a whole lot of safety when Marcus May is a Cowboy. But anyways, back to the
Marcus Joyner.
Back to the running back thing. In my opinion, if they think that he has serious potential to be a 2, 3, 4, 5 year good running back in the NFL, my honest belief is, unless it's either a generational type talent like Saquon, or unless you are a contending team, you should not give your rookie running back more carries than your veteran running back. You're putting unnecessary miles. Yes, get him some experience. This is why I really wanted the Steelers to keep James Conner, to take off some pain from how many hits Najee Harris is going to have to take next year. Because when running backs start taking,
you don't think Pittsburgh's ready to win this year?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Let's get into Pittsburgh. Let's transition into Pittsburgh.
Oh, we didn't go full circle yet. To go full circle and finish this conversation up, the Jets started this turnaround when they traded Sam Darnold.
Yeah. The terrible towels flying here. The Steelers, they brought back Big Ben. They got a new running back in Najee Harris. Juju came back. He said, I'm not going to take money and go to Baltimore. They still got what I call the wide receiver by committee, right? Is that what we're going to call him?
And then just came up with it. Is that what we're calling them?
I think it's called the we're not going to throw the ball too much strategy.
Yeah.
Let's invest in defense.
Defense. Oh, yeah. We could talk about that. We talked about it a little bit earlier. They signed Ingram. Do you like that move, Seven?
I do, especially when you lost to Castro, but then they replaced him with another former Pro Bowl guard from from the Chargers, and the idea was that they were going to get 2 players for one, and I was kind of wondering if they were going to do it, and they actually did it. They got I'm blanking on his name. Help me out, Mike. The guard, former guard Pittsburgh signed
from the Chargers.
Trey Turner.
Trey Turner. Yeah, Trey Turner. I had high hopes for him last year.
Yeah.
He came in out of shape, man. He was super out of shape, and he got hurt in like week 2 and just never got back on the field.
Well, yeah, he said that he's healthy this year.
I hope so.
He's a Pro Bowl caliber player since he obviously has made a Pro Bowl. But Trey Turner and Ingram's contracts together are De Castro's. So I like it. They have hopefully Turner's healthy, so they're getting a Pro Bowl caliber guard, and then Ingram. He'll come in passing situations. Obviously, I don't think he's going to be a immediate starter, but he's a talented guy when healthy.
Yeah,
That's what are they going to do? What are they going to do with Alex Highsmith? That's what I'm.
I think he's a starter. He's a starter, man. I think he's got a lot of upside. He really did well, especially when Bush and Dupree went down. Underrated, didn't get the love that obviously. When you're in like a defensive draft class with Chase Young, you're not going to get that much notoriety. But I think he's really, really just a sound player.
Alex Highsmith, what team did he come from? Charlotte, right? Charlotte?
I'll have to look it up.
Is that the college you went to?
I'm not familiar.
Yeah, but either way, I don't know why I went that way, but I'm just saying. I like Alex Highsmith, and I do think he's going to take a step back, but I wonder where Devin Bush is in his recovery, and if that's going to help them out.
He
But
needs
the
to stay
Steelers,
off Twitter. He needs to stay off social media.
is that what he's? Oh, is he the one calling people out for TikTok right now?
Yeah, and he's also just attacking social media content creators as well.
Ouch.
Hey,
Yeah.
what's up?
Hey, we're
Bullet?
some of those people.
Dude, we might.
Yeah, why don't you come on here and tell us what you think about it?
Yeah. So yeah,
I'll send you a link
don't know
right
what-
now.
I don't know what his deal is, and Casey Hayward says as soon as we get to Pittsburgh, I'm taking your phone away from you. So I don't know what's going on. I think Pittsburgh's probably going to slide. You know, Mike Tomlin never had under a 500 team. This year, you know, he's either going to be above or below 500 because we don't have even number of games. I see Pittsburgh as a bubble team. Either they're going to be one win away from that 7th spot, or they're going to win that 7th spot.
That's fair.
Yeah, I like Pittsburgh. I think, like you said, they never lose. They're in a division that they could. I mean, the people are going to be like, the Browns are good. I actually think the Ravens take a step back and aren't as good as people are. Everybody always crowns the Ravens, and I don't see it this year. I don't see it. I think the Browns take a step forward. I think the Steelers stay the same. I think the Ravens take a step back in that division. That's just me. But
And
the
they could
Steelers
split with all AFC North teams. They could go 1-1 versus all 3 teams. They could sweep Bengals, but they could go 1-1 with Baltimore. They can go 1-1 with Cleveland.
Who, the Ravens?
Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah. Pittsburgh can
People
hang
just
with that whole
assume,
division.
like, oh, the Ravens are there, so the Ravens, that's automatically 2 losses. Like, yeah, they can split.
No, I'm not.
Mean they're going to get swept just because the team has a better year.
Yeah, I'm not writing the Steelers off. I think they have I'm not a big fan of Big Ben, and I think he's been hurting a little bit. And when they were like, we're bringing him back, I was like, oh. But what were the other options? There's not a lot of other options.
I agree. You could see maybe a vintage Ben where it's just a run-heavy team and a lot of defense, and they don't ask for him to throw the ball 45 times a game because he can't do it. He's not built for that anymore. His arm, his shoulder, his elbow can't hold up for a full, I guess, 17-game season now. He can't throw the ball 40 times a game.
Yeah, and that's hopefully
That's
Harris. Do you like the other backups? You like McFarland and you like Benny Snell?
I don't care for either. Benny Snell is just a poor man's James Conner, in my opinion. McFarland, I didn't see anything that really said like he's the next guy. I feel like either guy could be replaced by anyone on the street. Like if I would rather Adrian Peterson.
Let's get into one last thing, guys, because I know we're gonna hit the 2-hour mark pretty soon.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh.
I'm like, but one last thing we'll get into, and I don't know how much you guys are knowledgeable on this, the NBA Finals.
Ooh.
No,
Because tomorrow on the Warzone Sports Network, if you guys tune in, if you guys are watching right now, set your notifications for YouTube, subscribe, so you guys can tune in tomorrow because we are going to do a live stream of Game 6. So if the Bucks win, they're the champions. If the Suns win, there's going to be one more game. And also, guys, it's a great time to get in with us on Prize Picks tomorrow. Download the app Prize Picks on any of the mobile devices that you have, any of the game stores. Download Prize Picks, put the promo code Warzone, and they'll match up to $100 of your first entry. And you guys can go ahead and send it. If you guys put an entry in for tomorrow, send it to us. DM it to one of us, and we'll put it in the graphic tomorrow, and we'll root for you guys to win some money as well. But with that said, Suns in 7.
Guarantee.
Ooh. I don't have a dog in the fight, and I don't even know.
I'll be there.
I'm looking for dope highlights.
There you go. There you go.
Shout out to Chris Middleton. I told Tony Tucker I would shout out Chris Middleton. I would go to war for Chris Middleton like I went to war for Russell Wilson on Saturday.
Yeah, Tony Tucker's got a little man crush on Chris Middleton. I don't understand why.
Wait, where is it? That's how many points Kyler Murray scored week 17, 3 points. Do not take him to the 5th round.
No, do not take him.
Anyway, back to NBA Finals.
The
Look at that guy.
whole freaking world knows what's about to happen, but you guys keep denying it.
Yeah, the whole world knows the Suns are coming back.
Oh my
Who's the
God.
MVP, Mike?
Oh,
Bucks win,
Giannis.
Bucks
Giannis.
tomorrow.
Giannis is. He's averaging like 30 and 13 or something crazy.
What about Thanos? Isn't that his brother?
That's what Giannis looks like out there. He looks like Thanos snapping away the Suns' chances and Chris Paul's chances of winning a championship.
I'm telling you right now.
Chris
Suns come
Paul's
back-
not going to ever win a championship. Let it set in, Joe. Just let it set in right now. He's going to retire without a championship. All those years spent with the Clippers, all those years spent with everyone except for LeBron disliking him because of his dirty, dirty play. And he's going to end up with nothing but a handful of emptiness and State Farm commercials.
And a lot of money.
Okay,
At least
some
he
money.
had that. At least he had it.
Some money.
You don't think, with their backs against the wall,
No.
that the Suns come out and win tomorrow?
Are they
If
in
you're-
Milwaukee?
If your mentality when you're up 2-0 isn't to go out there and punch the ticket and finish this off and win a championship, down 3-2, your mentality is not going to be much better.
Suns in 7.
They
Come on, Alex. Suns
They
in
blew it.
7.
All right,
They
gentlemen.
Suns in
Thanks for having
7.
me on. I'm gonna get out.
Fear the
Yeah.
deer.
Take care.
Suns in
You guys
7,
need
and
to
7's
go.
out of here.
Take
7
care.
o'clock's out. Have a good
All
one,
right,
man.
7.
Suns are going to
Good.
spend 7 hours drinking after they lose tomorrow night.
I'm just letting you know. I like the Suns. You guys already know where I am on the Suns. Alex is along with me. You and Tony Tucker could take your Bucks, and you know where to take that.
And we'll be winning tomorrow night. Yeah, we'll take the Bucks and be winning tomorrow night.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I really do think the Suns are gonna pull it out, man. I
I
really
have
do.
never rooted for a non-Lakers victory more than I am rooting for the Bucks to win tomorrow night.
I like this. If Middleton and the other homie shows up, Bucks can win. And the other homie, like,
This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about across the whole internet. Everyone's talking about the Bucks need to do something. No, the Suns need to do something. They're on a 3-game losing streak in the finals. If the Suns show up tomorrow, that they can win. Yes, if they show up. Big if.
Ain't gonna be a big if because it's gonna happen, Mike on the mic. It's gonna happen, Tony Tucker. I know you're in the chat. It's gonna happen.
Send
You
us
all
home.
are gonna cry your tears of sadness when the Suns come back and win in 7.
Viewership just dropped from 100,000 to 50,000. Send us home.
Francisco said he doesn't like Chris Paul because he betrayed the Lakers.
Chris Paul didn't betray the Lakers, but Chris Paul did go to the Clippers, and Chris Paul was a dirty player.
Flojo.
Damn.
Flojo.
Shots fired. Oh.
Lodo don't even know me, I guess.
He said you're
Okay.
a LeBron fan.
What the? I'm born and raised in Los Angeles.
Whoa.
I'm actually more of a fan than you motherfuckers who come out here and hate on LeBron. When LeBron came to LA, there was people all over the place like saying, I still won't support LeBron, even though I'm a Lakers fan. Well, then you aren't a Lakers fan. How about that? We got the best player in the world, and you hate on him still. I'm not talking to you personally, Flojo. I'm talking to the Lakers fans that did that. Talking about me not being a real fan because I'm rooting for my team to win, even though we have LeBron James on the team.
Oh, man.
What are you guys laughing at?
He's laughing at you.
What are you guys laughing at?
It was the
Because
MFer,
Flojo
man.
got
It
under
was
your
the
skin.
MFer that came out of nowhere, man. That just
Flojo
caught me
got
off
under
guard.
your skin, and you had to go. You had to defend yourself. You did good.
I love it, Mike. Oh,
I'll
Mike.
take
I
this
love
chip
it.
for show.
Yeah, we already won it, Flojo. We're here. I cried when they won. Think about it. I came home from overseas, and then a month later, both of my baseball team and my basketball team won the finals. And LeBron James was a huge part of it. Of course, I'm a big LeBron fan. You can even
What's
call
it-
me a Bron-sexual. I don't care. Go ahead. Fill the chat up.
What's it like having teams that succeed?
It's fun.
Uh,
It's happiness. It's not torture.
What's happiness? I don't have
because
that.
Tony T's on Twitter.
He's tweeting.
Tony T is a tweeter. That sounds inappropriate for some reason. Don't quote me on that.
But Kobe Bryant's my favorite athlete ever.
Ever?
Joe. And I think my second favorite player ever would be LeBron James. But after LeBron James, I don't really count him. He's like on a different tier. Like he's off to the side with Kobe. I'm talking about Derek Fisher being my second favorite player.
Joe Morley, who's your favorite NBA player ever?
If I had to pick one,
it's gonna be Allen.
If you had to,
okay. I'm not a big basketball fan. I never have been, but I do love me some Allen Iverson.
You seem like
I'm not gonna lie. Nick Van Exel was another one. That's probably too old for you guys, but yeah, Kobe Bryant sticks in my head a lot. Kobe Bryant was a big guy, but yeah, Mike, I don't know. It would have to be between the. But I love the attitude and everything that Allen Iverson carried himself with. That's my kind of player. You know what I mean? Practice.
He's a savage.
One of the guys that deserve to have a ring in his career.
Yeah, except for someone stopped that. He can step over as many people as he wants.
That's true.
Yeah. Nick Van Exel, that's what I always talk about to Tony about is that I loved his when he shot the free throws because he was almost shooting 3-pointers when he was doing free throws. And he had the long socks on, everything. So everything about him. But Nick Van Exel and Kobe didn't get along, huh?
Not a lot of people got along with Kobe.
Pau Gasol is the only teammate to get along with Kobe.
And that's because Pau Gasol is like the most antisocial person at CJ.
Yeah, he just like showed up. He just showed up and put in work and then left. That's what Kobe wanted.
Yeah. That's pretty much Kobe in a nutshell too.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could see it. If I can. I mean, you guys already know who Nick Van Exel is, right?
Yeah,
I do.
Trying to show his outfit.
I was trying to find it, like, because it was just that's a classic look. Like, I don't know what it is about socks being pulled up, but there's Nick Van Exel and Kobe.
Kind of looks like Charles Barkley a little bit, even that face kind of looks.
But I like the long socks. On basketball players, I think it looks funny. Baseball players, I love the long socks. You know, when they're not having the pants all the way down to their ankles. That's my kind of stuff. I don't know why. Maybe I'm a socks guy.
I wore high socks when I played baseball and football. Do you like me?
No. I would have said you look dumb.
Mike, you said yours is Kobe, right?
Yeah.
I would understand that you being from California.
What about you? You a Melo?
Melo, yeah, probably has to be the one that really got me into basketball. But as I grew up and kind of tried to mold my game into a player, it turned out to be Dennis Rodman. Just a defensive force that tried to get rebounds. That's basically all I could really do well because I couldn't shoot worth a damn when I played basketball.
Yeah, I couldn't do anything while I played basketball. I just ran around like a chicken with my head cut off.
Have I told any of you guys that I actually had my old basketball coach? I think I may have told you guys. I don't know if I've said it on stream, though.
Oh, you said it on stream, but go ahead and say it again because it's funny.
I actually have. I was talking to my old high school coach, who's also the administrator in my high school. We were just talking, and he actually mentioned to me just casually that I actually have the worst free throw percentage in school history with a solid 11%.
Okay, Shaq.
You think that was casual, or you think he was really making fun of you?
I don't know. I think we were just kind of reminiscing about those kind of days because it's been a long time since my last season I ever played basketball was my sophomore year because that's when I discovered boxing and really started getting into that. But yeah, I was not very good that year, but I was good on defense. Good on defense and could rebound, but I was not a very good shooter.
What are you laughing at, Mike?
How'd the comics? I thought of something funny, and I can't hold it in. How'd the conversation go, Alex? Where you're like, hey, remember me? Remember when I went and played basketball? He's like, yes, you're in the record books, actually.
No, it's not like that. So me and him, he was also a teacher there too. He wasn't just strictly basketball. Okay. Of course, a little small private school. You have to be kind of kind of a Swiss Army knife in those kind of schools. But I was sitting there just talking about everything. Went to a Christian school, so we're just talking about a little bit about Jesus and all that kind of stuff. And we were just talking talking basketball about how the team is going to look with COVID and all that kind of stuff. And he was like, you actually have the worst free throw percentage in team history. I was like, oh,
fun fact.
Thanks for that little information. I knew I was a bad player, but he'd been waiting for that moment his entire life.
He didn't want to say nothing. Like, he was like, you're good. Just keep shooting. Alex, you're going to be a great player one of these days. And now that he's not your coach and you're done, he could talk all the crap to you like, dude,
he would never tell me to keep shooting. He would tell me to stop shooting.
Yeah, I
Hey,
just want to let
Robin,
you know that
if you're
you
good-
suck.
If you're good at defense, Team Mike is recruiting for a fantasy football game coming up here soon.
Hey, I'll fly out to California for it. Why not?
There you go.
Oh, actually, I don't know about that. I've seen videos and stuff of y'all sun shields in your cars melting. I can't handle that.
You see this, Joe? Alex is willing to fly across the country to be on my team, but you won't even drive down the road a little ways.
Yeah, because you won't let me play quarterback.
Okay, yeah. Alex, come on over. Joe, stay in Bakersfield and do your thing.
I come
Yeah,
from
I'm
a town
Don't make me-
of great
don't make-
quarterback.
Tony
don't want
Tucker's
me
going to be
playing
my quarterback
quarterback.
for the next game. Tony Tucker.
Tony's going to be quarterback?
I'm going to match their secret weapon with a secret weapon. That's how that works, right?
No, that's not how it works.
I just
I'm your
can't.
secret weapon.
I can't wait for Piggy, because what we used to do back in my playing days in high school, I was always the kid that could just run forever. So they just put me in, and I would motion every play just to tire out the DBs. So I'm trying to get back to that level. And I'm gonna do it to Piggy because he said he's gonna guard me every play next game.
Mike, can I be on your team?
Piggy's gonna have to worry about his ACL, his MCL, his PCL, his ankles, his toes, his quads, his hammies. It's all gonna be feeling painful when he runs 10 miles at a flag football game.
Mike, tell me right now, can I be on your team?
Yes, you can.
I'm coming like this.
Hell yeah. That dude's a baller. Have you seen his highlights? He's a
He's a
quarterback.
baller.
He's
Yeah,
a
that's
baller.
Jared Lorenzen.
You know his
Rest
name?
in-
Cool. Yeah, that dude's dope.
Rest in peace, Jared Lorenzen.
Oh, he passed away?
Yeah, he passed away.
That was a few years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a couple of years, but remember he played for the Giants.
Played for Kentucky, too.
Yeah, big dude. So that's what I said. Big dudes can throw the ball.
Yep.
Joe,
You don't want me to
get there,
quarterback that.
we'll test you out in warm-ups and see how the arm feels, and then we'll
Look at that.
make a decision, a game time decision.
I'll bring the wrist pad and everything.
How tall is he?
What was Jared?
He taller?
man,
I remember him being a plump guy. I'm never a real tall guy.
I can look it up real quick. He was
Joe,
285 pounds. He was 6'4".
you got that QB height. I know that.
So he's 6'4", 285.
That's pretty tall.
Yeah, he died July 3rd, 2019 at 38 years old.
Damn.
Okay, so yeah, it's been a couple of years now.
Yeah. To put us down on a bad spot, but
All right, let's go full circle. Sam
Full
Darnold.
circle. Back to Sam Darnold. Hey, I appreciate everybody that's been tuning in. We've had a good, steady crowd. This is our first episode of Welcome to the Warzone that we call Round Table Edition, right? That we
Pizza
just
place?
talk about, huh?
Like the pizza place?
Yeah. I mean, why not? We
down.
should be eating pizza right now. We should just be.
As long as we don't
man,
put goddamn pineapples on our pizza, then I'm okay with it.
Why do you got to bring that up? Pineapple on there every time.
Pineapples taste like Sam Darnold throws.
Shout out to Alex's mom who was in here for a little bit. Thank you for coming in and making fun of your son along with us.
It's always fun.
Francisco's probably still watching. Francisco, what's up? To anybody else, I think Flojo, everybody else who came in, some of the new faces, appreciate it. You guys, we love seeing new faces every stream that we do. We did a mock draft Mondays every Monday at 3:15 p.m. Pacific time. It's around that time. I kind of like this, the Welcome to the War Zone, but we can't do it for long because starting next month or 2 months from now will be Monday Night Football, which we're going to get into that. Tomorrow, Game 6 of the NBA Finals. Tony Tucker will be here along with some of us. We might just hop in too, right? Help Tony Tucker out on that stream.
He's kind of
Wednesdays.
Give him a shoulder to
kind
cry
of
on,
good.
but
He
let's-
might be able to do it on his own.
You can probably do it. No, not everybody can be Tony Tucker, though.
Tony Tucker.
Wednesday, Sports Force back here on the network. Thursday, Pace League. Friday Night Wars. Saturday, Fantasy Football Boot Camp. And a potential Game 7 if they get there. That will be live, right? That was Sunday. That was Saturday.
Yeah.
And then Sunday, we might have something special for you. So make sure you guys, if you guys are on Twitter or on Facebook, please find us on YouTube, subscribe, because we're not always on those. So we're always on YouTube, but we're not always on the other ones. So find us, hit us up. You guys got anything to say, Mike?
No, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Sticking around this far. I see some viewers are still here. Appreciate you guys for tuning in.
Alex?
Get ready for Sports Force. Me and Joe Skirto going at it this week.
yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
You see how I didn't cut Alex off that time? I actually
You went from the biggest Sam Darnold believer to the hater, replacing Brian Bolster this week.
It's going to be amazing being with Joe Skirdo, man. It's going to be awesome. Brian Bolster, I hope you get to watch it and laugh as I make fun of Sam Darnold probably the whole time.
Freaking Brian Bolster. I give him a return. It's like if John Cena didn't show up to Raw next week. Give him a return hype video and then he doesn't show up to the next week.
I think Cena's supposed to be on Raw tonight. I'll have to catch the replay of it.
And if you guys have questions for us, please hit us up in our DMs. Let us know so we can answer this. So next time we do this, we'll have more answers. But like I said, we love the interaction. We love when you guys are in here. We love when you guys new subscribers. We love the shout out. It's been fun. Warzone Sports Network. Please tell your family, friends, coworkers, whoever else you want to. If you have somebody that if you like this is what I like. If you like us, then tell all your family and friends. If you hate us, then tell the people that you hate so they can watch us. Either way,
win-win for us.
Also, check out Prize Picks so you can be along with us. Put your entries in along with us. Tomorrow we'll put some entries in on the basketball game. Use the promo code Warzone when you download it, and they'll match up to $100 of your first entry. It's all over unders, guys. It's over unders. It's fun game. It keeps you more entertaining, especially when football season comes up. It's going to be a lot better. I don't know if you're a Jets fan, it might not be, right?
Well, not a lot of bet on there.
If you pick unders, yeah, it can be if you're a Jets fan.
Fair enough. If you pick a lot of the under, you'll be all right as a Jet fan.
But other than that, we talked about John Cena's return today. We talked about the NBA Finals. Man, I know we've been on for 2 hours, but I did have something planned and I didn't do it. MLB marketing their stars. Major League Baseball, do a better damn job at marketing your star. Ohtani was the best player at the All-Star game. And that's probably the first time a lot of people in the United States saw him. That's sad.
Second it.
Get your stuff together. Get your stuff together, MLB. Other than that, I'm Joe Morley, Mike on the mic, and my guy, Alex Robson. We're out of here, guys. See you tomorrow.